In this segment, which will happen before the start of the podcast, okay?
Oh, no, I can't be playing
We will pretend that E3 has already happened, and then
so we will some predictions.
Yeah, so we will act as if it's already happened, and we'll see how close the released podcast is to the actual E3.
Oh, man. Did you see that fucking Ubisoft and Nintendo?
Did you see Rabbids Kingdom Battle? My God, is that devaluing the Mario franchise or what?
I know, right?
I actually quite like what they put for the online for the Switch, but I don't understand why you have to pay $20 every month or your Joy-Con explodes.
$20 a month? I thought it was a year.
It's a year.
It's a year.
$20 a month or your Joy-Con explodes just seems unfair. Like, you have to buy a new Joy-Con and they're really expensive. You miss one payment, it explodes. If it's in your pocket, it can make a hole up to 6 inches in diameter. They'd obviously been planning this because all the previous Joy-Cons are rigged to explode. I mean, yeah, it's a good online service, but is it worth having a giant hole in your leg?
Yes.
I think Nintendo fans would be okay with that.
Yes. In the same way that Samsung fans were quite happy with a phone that doubles as a grenade, I'm quite happy with my Joy-Con to randomly blow up.
Who are you going to main in the new...
I mean, it's only going to blow up if you don't pay them. What are you, poor?
Who are you going to main in the new Beyond Good and Evil MOBA?
I didn't play Beyond Good and Evil, so I'm no interest in it.
I'm going to main Paige, because he's an old fart.
So, what did you think about the Smash Deluxe reveal for the Switch and the reveal of Goku?
Well... I mean, it was inevitable.
Well, really, I was hoping for Vegeta, but I can see why Goku
Ridley Frank's PCFO!
Every time.
He's too big even for the Switch!
They announced a new character called Not Ridley, who's like Ridley.
I know, right?
He's the exact opposite of Ridley.
No, you missed it. They announced Ridley Scott.
From Alien.
Yeah.
His only moves, his up smash is doddering, and his down B is making a bad Alien movie.
Yeah. I mean, his final smash is he remakes Alien 1, and everyone loves it, because that was a good film. But other than that, he's useless.
His final smash is him being given a decent screenwriter, but lucky he's not even vaguely mobile enough to get that. I mean, he's like 4,000 years old. You know, in that movie they had about that Martian, they CG'd on all the space helmets.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I mean, I can see why, but I'm just disappointed.
How are you guys feeling about 9 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM?
The Scorpio.
It's
not
Xbox
called wins again, baby.
It's not called Scorpio anymore. Remember, it's called the Xbox
Zero.
Zero Origin.
The Xbox One 2.
Xbox Origin.
Xbox One to Switch.
What amuses me about
the Xbox One to
Microsoft
Switch Neo
at the moment is that they've essentially tried to do what Sony do, which is to copy something that's really popular. And the popular thing was to copy like the PS4 Pro. So they're slightly behind the curve from where they should be. But they've done it in such a way that they can't back out of it, because whenever Sony does something where they copy like Nintendo or whatever, they do it kind of half-assed, like with PlayStation Move and the PlayStation Camera and other
PS
stuff.
Vita.
And PlayStation Plus in comparison with Xbox Live at the time, as it was. So they do things by halves, Sony. But Microsoft have gone like, we're going to invest billions in this, it's going to be the best thing. And it's not going to work, because the industry has moved on again.
The most powerful console ever, featuring 6 teraflops of graphical processing power, true 4K gaming, and compatibility with Xbox One games and accessories.
And the highest quality pixels.
Spex's American accent is pretty sweet.
He sounds like a tiny announcer.
What he sounds like he's doing is the fake American accent from Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yes.
That's what he's doing. He's doing the Monty Python American accent.
That's a good American accent.
I mean, I personally think that thing where you can experience all of your sexual fetishes in Minecraft form is vaporware now. You're never going to see that.
Mods for 5 years. Come on,
I missed that.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate? I missed that one part. I had to go to the bathroom. What exactly was presented?
They
showed a guy having like sex with a Minecraft. He had that Microsoft Holo. He had that Microsoft like new Beam Zone thing that shines lasers into your eyes and makes you blind.
Oh, it's 12 gig GDDR5, not 9. Oh, it's missold.
It's every time Sony makes fun of it, it goes up by 1 gigabyte.
Just to spite them.
2.3 gigahertz custom CPU.
They're just mad because Sony decided to let people have pre-owned games. They just wanted to get rid of pre-owned games. That's all we had to give them.
2.3 gigahertz of RAM from 2012. I don't know.
15,000 Bungholio marks, I'll have you know.
An i7 from 2009.
26 gigabits per second memory bandwidth.
A 500 gigabyte mechanical hard drive.
15 terabyte of colors.
Storage.
Why is it
HDR
always like a terabyte of mechanical hard drive storage? Always. Why?
I don't need
Except with Nintendo, who added 32 gigabytes
32 gig in the
of flash memory. And in doing so, fucked themselves over, as it turns out, because they actually are competing.
They need that memory. They need it.
No.
It's not the people who use the console that need it.
No. You're missing this here. They're now competing with Apple for these resources, and Samsung as well, because all of Apple's new phones and stuff need these parts as well, this flash memory. So they're now competing with Apple in that space.
They're competing with Apple for deprivation.
Yeah.
Solid state storage is extremely plentiful and not limited. eMMC is pennies cheap. Solid state drives are not particularly expensive. SD cards and stuff like that are cheap.
That's what they want you to think.
Oh my god, this was a good room.
That's true.
I just had a really good room in randomizer. I'm sorry. I got the power. It's the magic mirror. This is gonna happen a lot. And a red bottle all at once. Until we start the podcast, yeah, it's gonna happen all at once.
I'm just sad that they devoted a full 90 minutes of the Nintendo Direct to ARMS.
I should probably know, by the way, it's only 30 minutes long. Their presentation.
I've been playing it for days.
It was folded into itself.
How are you enjoying ARMS?
Well, you know, it's actually a really great workout routine. I've strapped a couple of dumbbells to my Joy-Cons, and now, you know, I look like Knuckles.
But what if they explode? They're going to fling that everywhere as shrapnel, you fool!
That's fine. I'm paying my $20 a month to Nintendo, so that exact thing won't happen. Nice.
I like Bombos. That's a good thing to get.
I'm waiting for the DLC Legs.
Legs.
Yeah, I was really stoked when they announced Legs, actually.
20 rubles.
And I think no one expected the Ears DLC.
Wait, is there legs now?
No. Thank God.
So,
yeah, did you miss the announcement?
How about Pikmin World, though? Like, bold move making a Pikmin MMORPG, but I think Nintendo can pull it off.
It wasn't an MMORPG, it's a MOBA.
It's going to be free to play in 6 months.
A MOBA RPG. a MMOBA RPG.
An MMORPG.
It's technically it's more of a zombie survival game.
Deep Silver are making a MOBA though, aren't they? Along the lines of Heroes of the Storm.
I believe Deep Silver have already made at least one MOBA.
Deep Silver still exists?
Yeah.
I'm relatively sure you have to make a MOBA now.
Can Deep Silver include the games that they've published as well as developed? Because if so, can we get Mighty Number 9 as part of the MOBA?
Let me find out who's in it already. All I know is that Gat from Saints Row is in it.
I was really disappointed hearing that the Mega Man HD Collection number 2 is just going to be a HD remaster of the first Mega Man HD Collection.
I'm trying to process that in my mind. What?
Sorry, say it all again.
So everything, it's twice as sharp, and you're now emulating an emulator.
I mean, I do that all the time just for giggles.
The art books are screenshots of someone else's computer looking at the art books from the first one.
Nice.
So,
called Mega Man HD Collection HD Collection.
What about the big hype train of the entirety of the E3? What about No Man's Sky 2?
Well,
I never thought it would happen.
Personally, I'm excited.
I'm glad
me
they
too.
got
I mean, what
Peter
could go
Molyneux
wrong?
to do development duty on it. Design duty, rather, I should say. I think that was an inspired move to bring back trust and credibility.
Yeah.
I think they made
shield.
the right choice deciding that it would all be about trains, and you'd travel to another planet on a huge train that went through the stars.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
I like that idea, actually. I think it has resonance with the modern sort of 30-something male demographic.
How do we like the addition of more female costumes in the new Zelda DLC? I think that was
Hell
quite
yeah.
important.
Love it. I've always wanted Link to
heard
be
the
a woman
audience.
so that it wouldn't be gay for me to be attracted to him.
Absolutely.
You did hear the audience of the live presentation.
Yes.
They went wild. One guy
They come in
whipped
their
his
pants.
dick out there and then.
I'm pretty sure I saw some underwear being thrown on the stage. Ooh, the Cane of Samaria. Excellent. Sorry.
That was what he was calling it. His
Yeah.
scenario.
Hey!
How do we think Nintendo will revolutionize the
Well,
mobile genre?
you're only going to be able to play with people using friend codes, so I think they missed a beat there.
No, it's great. It'll stop the toxic community.
It will stop the toxic community, but you'll never be able to find enough people to play with. So
It's a MOBA. How many people do
Win-win.
you need?
Yeah, but Nintendo
10.
will do it differently, so it'll be 2v2 instead of 3v3.
oh, I see.
I mean, I'll probably be playing at work because you can play through email now, and that appeals to
I
me
miss
because I'm
play by email.
I'm quite busy these days, and I like the idea of being able to submit my tick by email, and then I wait for all the next
Tunic.
ticks.
Oh, speaking of email, with Nintendo's dongle for the entire chat functionality.
Yes.
What did you think about their announcement of their version of chess that you have to send via emails your moves of your
Well,
pieces?
that's nothing revolutionary. We've had internet chess, email chess for years. I mean, Nintendo is very behind the times.
Yeah, but
on
they're
But-
bringing it back.
Not
They're
only are they bringing it back, but I don't think you understand how innovative this is. The chess pieces are from Mario, right?
Oh!
I don't think you quite understand
I'm
how.
buying 3.
Yeah,
versus the rabbits.
yeah.
This is the game. This is the Kingdom Battle.
Kingdom Battle versus Rabbits.
It's a turn-based RPG.
The thing that
That's
I'm
what they
most
promised.
excited about is being able to implant amiibos surgically into my actual pets, so that I can then level those pets up by taking them for walks or loving them or other things that I would otherwise never have the time to do. It's bad news, of course, for people who have, who have invested early in the MOBA train, in the early MOBAs, which would be too bulky to implant into a pet. But now they're just a vapor. I'm actually breathing in several right now.
Yo, without looking it up, what is Goofy's last name?
Dog.
No.
Figurino,
Nope.
Movie.
Nope.
Burbok.
Nope. It's Geef.
Hello and welcome. That's right. Rock me, baby. Baby. Rock me, baby. Baby. That's right. Baby, 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 baby.
Garmin Bozier. It is I, the Catsman, and today, Happy Man's there.
Yeah, what's up?
Moogle is there.
I'm here.
Roosty is there.
Am I?
Shiny is there.
Hi.
And the usual Specs is there.
Savok.
Right down there at the bottom.
Fuck.
Savak.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
Deeply.
Savak.
Technically, it's Savok at
Savota.
the moment.
This podcast,
Savasaba.
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 I am going to start out this podcast with I guess a Kickstarter watch. Take a look at this.
If we must.
Oh no.
What do you think of
Papa
this?
makes even coffee, what?
This got significant traction in the mainstream
Absolutely.
media.
What?
Incredible idea.
Not enough to actually make people fund it, but it got quite a lot of traction. You'll notice here the advert basically it depicts two professionals, who don't have a lot of time to spare. Perhaps they don't have time to visit their favorite coffee shop, and so as they sort of exchange awkward glances on the street, they instead decide that they want to drink espresso out of a giant thing that snaps onto the back of their iPhone. And you push a button on a phone app, and your phone dispenses a tiny amount of espresso.
So there's an app for that.
So you can have espresso dispensed directly into your mouth on a busy subway train, just by your phone.
How does it stay hot?
That's quite frankly genius.
Why has
If
nobody
your phone
thought
is
of
really
this?
old and shitty and the fan is broken, then the coffee gets really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Heat
And
from
you
your
burn
phone.
your
I
mouth.
like my coffee hot. I'd have to be running a Samsung S7 to get it hot enough.
Ha 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 ha.
I like my coffee sort of Sony Xperia temperature-ish.
So cold.
Why has no one thought of this before? That's what I want to know.
Well, they have to know.
It's pretty easy to imagine why no one
Where
has
did they
thought
get
about
the
it
cup
before.
from?
Yeah, and all you have to do is carry around the tiny cup that goes with the tiny
Well, no, you
amount
don't
of
have
espresso.
to.
I love
You
how
can
he
just-
turns to the camera.
You can
and
just
is
do it
like,
straight into
"Hey."
your mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the idea.
Boom.
Just
But then you burn your mouth and you can
No.
sue them and
You
do a
just-
lot of
It's cold.
business.
You put your lips to the corner of your phone and you just suck the coffee out.
Just suckle it like a teat.
Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Yeah, it's an optional assessment, stretch goal backer. You get a little teat for
No.
your phone.
That's pretty disturbing.
You know what I was
Pineapple.
wondering about today? Whatever happened to solar roadways? Do you remember that?
Nothing
Okay,
happened.
it's extremely expensive to build a surface that is both solar panels and a road. On the other hand, it's very cheap to put solar panels, say, on top of a house or
Yep.
next to a road. In fact, putting the solar roadway on the road is probably the worst place you could put the solar.
Plus, if there's traffic, you're blocking the sun.
Also, people do lots of things on roads.
But you could just put light bulbs underneath all the cars.
Maybe
And
we
these
should
light
just make
bulbs get
cars
power
out
I'm
of
so
Right.
solar
smart, you all so dumb.
Jesus Christ.
And that's all I have to say about that. Now back to my regular feature, British chain pubs. Next,
No.
next
Yeah.
on the list,
Yeah, keep talking about
Harvester. I think my mate Matt Brindley once had a breakfast at Harvester, and he said, "Does the Eggman at Harvester have another job, or is he just the Eggman?"
Well, he
Because
does have
I'm
a
in a
master
messed up
plan.
game called Harvester.
I've never actually sat and eaten at a Harvester. I went to a Harvester once to buy a Red Bull, and it was £5 for a small can.
I think it's probably the worst place on earth.
Yeah, welcome to bars. Jesus
Terrible.
Christ.
No, they're
So-
okay in this country normally, but
So leading on from that, you need to explain to me, who is the Eggman?
the Eggman is the man who stands and dispenses the scrambled egg that they make from powder at breakfast buffets.
Oh,
He's a friend of Sonic.
And
He is
Friend.
the
It's
not
Eggman.
friend
of
They
Sonic.
are the Eggman.
You
He is
almost
the
got it.
walrus.
And
Goo goo good you.
fuck off with your memes. I actually want to hear
That's
about
not
the
a
shit.
fucking man!
why do you
not
want to
me!
hear about this
Like-
shit?
No, I do. I like hearing about shitty bars and stuff.
I am the
Keep
one
going.
who's not fucking meme happy, come on!
His job title is probably
is-
like chef or something.
It is the meme wheel song. I'm
You
sorry.
can't call yourself a
That's
chef
Yellow Submarine.
if all you do
Eggman.
is just shovel eggs out of a big steamy container.
Does he not dispense any other foodstuffs? Is it just the eggs that he does?
I think the Eggman's purpose is to, because you could get the eggs for yourself, right? You
Yeah.
could just get a ladle, but if you do that, then you could have as many eggs as you want. Whereas if you have to ask the Eggman is
So you
judging
have to
you.
So
That's the Eggman.
The Eggman is judging you to eat a responsible amount of eggs.
is eating a harvester like a buffet type of deal? Is that
The breakfast is, and apparently it is the worst place on earth.
Are there any other parts of the breakfast which are dispensed by another person? Like,
I'm
is there a
relatively
bacon man?
sure.
Is there a pancake man?
I'm
pancake
relatively
man?
sure it's just the eggs.
Well, that's very bizarre.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's not to shame people. Maybe it really is a more difficult job than it's made out to be. Next time I go to a harvester, which is never.
Do you need an egg degree for it?
Maybe he has to lay the eggs.
No.
Are we going down that path?
All of these eggs were laid by the farmer, and these were laid by his mother-in-law.
What was that laugh?
Well, they say you can tell
That was a Tommy
if a
Wiseau.
chef is good.
David Ryder, I met Tommy Wiseau. Fuck you, people.
What?
I have his autograph. I have a video.
have his autograph?
I have a video of Tommy Wiseau throttling me and saying, "Hi, Felix, how are you?" So fuck you, people.
Hi, Felix. How are you?
So you got him to do that, but you didn't get him to do an intro for the podcast.
I'm tempted to go and see him again in September, but I don't think I'm going to bother.
If you see him twice, then you're officially a fanboy, though. So.
I am a fanboy of Tommy Wiseau, this is true. I was going to go and see Best Free Ends, or whatever they're calling it.
What?
Which is... This is his new film. Have you not heard?
God.
He's doing another film.
He's become self-aware now. He's not as good.
That's true.
He's doing it with Mark, whose name I can't actually remember, unfortunately.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Greg Sestero.
That one.
Yes.
That
Asshole cat is
a
here.
rambunctious meower you've got there.
Yeah.
Hungry House. I've never been inside a Hungry House, but my mate Luke worked there, and he said
Okay,
that...
fuck off with the cat. I can't hear anything.
My mate Luke worked there.
Sorry.
He said that if they drop food on the floor in the kitchen, they just pick it up and put it back on the back on the plate.
That's really awesome.
So no, it is not really awesome.
No, it's not.
Toby Carvery. I want to know where Toby Carvery invented Toby Carvery from. Because if you think about it, I mean, this is Toby Carvery, right? He's obviously supposed to be some sort of like pioneer kind of guy, but it doesn't make sense. Number
is
one,
he not a Quaker?
I don't. What is it with these companies
There's
and their
nothing about it on
fictional
Wikipedia.
Quakers?
The Wikipedia article is a stub.
They invent fictional Quakers in the 90s, and now what am I supposed to believe? Did his parents were his parents called Carvery? Was the family name Carvery? Did they own Carveries as well?
A Carvery.
Did he decide? Did the fictional Toby Carvery decide to open a Carvery because his name was Carvery? What did all
Rusty,
the other
what is that
Carveries?
noise?
Rusty, I am delivering what might be the most pointless monologue I've ever delivered on this podcast. The nadir of my podcast preparation. Tay-Barns. I actually went to Tay-Barns one. There is one in
Tay-Barns?
There is one in Coventry, which is like a black hole of culture in the United Kingdom. Tay-Barns was the United Kingdom's equivalent of Golden Coral. It's what could be described as an eatery. Tay-Barns was my first experience of English mustard, which I believed to be Dijon or American mustard.
Yellow mustard is
the
great.
Best mustard.
English mustard, mate. It's
Finnish
what we want.
mustard.
What's the point? Okay, they named a gas that kills people after mustard. Can you name another food that has a gas that kills people named after it? No. You know why? Because mustard is in a special category of being able to be adapted into a gas that kills people.
It's made of awesome things.
That's
Worth
the
pointing
best
out, apples
mustard.
have cyanide in the pips.
Yeah,
Point
and
that
the
out.
daddy long legs can kill you, and dogs can't walk backwards.
Interestingly, cyanide
The
is actually a
horses
side
can't walk
effect of the
backwards, dogs
side
can't
product
look
of
up.
the...
I've got a dog that's got no nose.
Horses also have no gag reflex.
Dogs can look up. Are you kidding me?
Horses can't look backward upstairs.
Horses can do somersaults.
I went once when I was trendy. I went to a Yo Sushi in Oxford with my work colleagues. Yo Sushi is one of those restaurants where there's like a conveyor belt and sushi comes along to you in capsules. And I remember very clearly I ate one of the more expensive sushis. They color code their sushis by how expensive they are. The most expensive ones are in like
rare items
the
in an
red
MMO.
ones. Yeah, exactly, like rare items. So the more expensive ones are in like a red capsule, and then the The cheaper ones are in like white capsules or whatever. So I ordered something and it was in a red capsule, and I was like, shit, that's like $5 for like 3 mouthfuls of food. I didn't want this. So when I was done with the red capsule, I hid it. And
you're a bad person.
And then
because that's what they do.
Then I maintained.
They just look at the plates that you've got, and then they charge you based on that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cheeky. That's strategic, though.
Threw the plate away. Well, they didn't tell me it was going to be a red capsule when they brought it to me. I thought it was going to be a green capsule. I thought it was going to be one of the medium ones, and then they brought me this red capsule. It's a deliberate bait and switch.
But you should have known. All of the tastier things are red capsules. That's the rule. Everything that tastes good is red.
What about blood?
Blood tastes great.
Blood is very tasty.
I love
the taste of blood. Salty and disgusting.
I meant capsules, but
what kind of blood have you been drinking?
Blood is salty. What are you talking about?
Blood is irony.
Yeah, exactly.
What
salty.
the hell?
Blood is very, very salty. What other disgusting red things are there? Can't think of any now, actually. I quite like most red things, you're right.
Bricks.
Victorians used to brush their teeth with it, though.
Yeah, but did they enjoy it?
They did, but that was because they were Victorians.
That's a bit rude.
Well, they didn't know any better.
You got something against Victorians?
Well, there was that whole British Empire thing.
Who are you to say you wouldn't have done the same?
I mean, I would have, but I would have sort of complained about it like a sort of champagne socialist type person, whilst doing nothing to actually address the problem.
But about the bourgeois capitalists.
Burgeroids!
Burgeroids.
It's pronounced burgeroids.
We've
or
bourgeois.
I thought it was bourgeois.
Is it actually?
No, it's not. It's bourgeoisie.
Is it actually?
I don't know how words are pronounced.
It's bourgeois.
I suppose I should.
It's burgers. Burgers.
Burgers.
It's simply burgers.
Wimpy Bar.
Boigers.
We were in Ashford.
Don't talk to me about Wimpy.
And I saw a Wimpy Bar.
Are we on right
I saw a Wimpy
and I pointed out a
Hamersham.
Wimpy in Ashford, right? When I was with these guys in Ashford, and I was like, look, a Wimpy Bar. Not as like a, we should go there and eat, like a Wimpy Bar. I thought they only had those in the 60s when my dad was a kid. In bowling alleys.
When did we go on this long of a food tangent?
No, I actually want to hear it. Shut up.
Happy Man had a pork bender.
Oh, yeah.
Wimpy Bar is a strange British restaurant that arrived on the scene in the United Kingdom before Britain had proper shitty fast food like McDonald's. And we had to make do with our own weird shitty fast food, one of which was called Wimpy Bar. And according to my dad, it was his favorite meal, if only because his mother used to boil mince in water and then serve it on toast.
Oh my god.
The only way that my dad could be made to eat the food was if my grandmother made the toast into the shape of the United Kingdom, and then he had to eat a certain number of counties before he was allowed to leave the table.
That's not sincere. That's insincere.
No, that
sounds so stupid.
You'll never know what is a true story I tell and what is bullshit.
Everything's bullshit.
We just assume that everything is bullshit.
You'll never know the truth.
We know the
bullshit.
truth.
See, Animich knew what was up. He didn't go to fucking Wimpy Bar. He got a Subway sandwich and crammed the entire thing in like...
He got a Subway sandwich and inhaled it. We always tell this story.
It's fucking awesome, though. It's so good.
I don't think we have any news other than Bubsy. Does anyone have any...
Ultra Sun and Moon garbage.
There was this E3 thing that happened.
In the past,
It has in the past, according
in
to
the
the
past,
podcast.
E3 happened.
Shiny?
Wait, what?
It's already happened.
No, it hasn't.
It's happened.
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
It has.
The thing is, we deliberately record episodes a week before the events that we discuss in them actually happen.
Oh, I've got a piece of news.
Okay, go on.
Nintendo released a trailer for their new theme park.
Oh, really?
No,
I want to see
didn't.
this.
They released like a 3D imagining.
They've released a teaser trailer that doesn't relate to.
There is nothing real in it other than a couple of Japanese women who look quite surprised that Mario is there.
I would be surprised.
Same.
I'm gonna watch it.
Oh my god.
Okie dokie.
There.
Can I just say, the name New Donk City is my favorite video game level
I want to talk
ever.
about New Donk City.
I'm
So,
glad to see
the fact that it's called New Donk City, that implies a colonial heritage to the original Donk City.
Where is the original Donk City?
Where's
That's
Donk
great.
City?
You think Donk City was in the Mushroom Kingdom and New Donk City is like an
It's in the
outcrop?
real world.
Or do you think Donk City is somewhere else in the real world? Like,
Mario has the deepest lore.
no,
Did
like
people from the Mushroom Kingdom colonize Earth?
I think
Like-
Donk City was pre-apocalyptic, and
Oh, okay.
New Donk is...
Yeah, it's built on the ruins of Donk City.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mario
it was originally
trashed it.
It was originally supposed to be called New Dawn City, but yeah.
Oh, there's some actual
Well,
pictures of the.
I suppose
of
it
the
could be
thing
like
here.
it could be New Donk City in the way that Akira is in Neo Tokyo because they rebuilt it.
New Donk City.
Neo Donk City.
New Donk City.
I'm just glad to see a return of Donkey Kong to the mainline Mario canon.
Yeah.
I mean, he's finally back.
I love DK.
Performing
Is he,
video.
or is it just in name?
I hope we've got the Wario Stock Exchange somewhere.
I'm gonna win.
They're they're better.
Here I go.
There was so
That
much
Wario's
implied
Casino when he always
gambling.
wins.
There's so much implied gambling in 3D World that if there is not at least some gambling in Nintendo's theme park, then I mean, even if it's just
It's
pachinko,
illegal in Japan.
It's gonna be
even if it's
Gambling is
just
illegal in Japan.
pachinko.
Hey, come play Wario's Pachinko.
Okay,
can,
so
though.
we were talking about New Donk City, so that segues nicely into my conundrum for this podcast.
Nice.
Which is okay, imagine like an abstract concept, all right? It could be like an occupation or a place or a thing. Imagine it. Have you all imagined
Yeah, I
one?
got one.
Can you
Yeah.
repeat that?
Okay.
Sorry.
Imagine an abstract concept. It could be like a place or an
Okay.
occupation or something along those lines, right? Okay, a technology, you know. Okay, add the word panic to the end of that. It's now a video game level. What level is it? Does it
that's
suck?
actually
Is it
great
good?
for mine.
Squid Panic.
Swordsman Panic.
Upside down teacup panic.
I'd play that. That's like a Sonic CD level.
I'm almost positive
I had
Squid Panic already exists.
Clockwork Panic. That's just Castlevania. So
Let me-
that's no good.
Okay, here's a picture of the location I've chosen. Mine is Stourhead Panic.
What?
It's a National
Nice.
Trust location. That's a picture of it there.
Wait, where? I don't see it. Where have you put
Sorry, I've chucked it in the hold on, let me do it again.
Go ahead, mate.
Does that work?
Oh,
it? I love that everyone else has like really crazy over the top levels, like 1,000 squids raining from the sky, and you know you've just got a nice green space.
I've got a National Trust location.
but
what would
from-
be the panic at
Yeah, where
Stourhead?
comes the panic?
Rise is too tall.
It's loads of swans. It's like 1,000 swans.
yeah.
Oh
that's
god,
great.
terrifying.
I've got a fucking swan story. My trains were delayed.
Your
this
swan
week
song.
by half an hour. No, even worse. Because 2 swans and 4 cygnets were on the fucking train line, and swans are a protected species, so they couldn't just run them the fuck over.
Why not honk at them?
Mad
in
as
fear
fuck.
of them honking back.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Mad as
swans were a
I feel like
protected
two
species.
Swans are a
swans
protected
versus-
species in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the Queen's birds.
Yeah,
No, they're
she
not.
owns- She
They're
owns
not
every
No,
Every
she
single one.
doesn't. She doesn't own
She
swans.
owns every single
She
one.
owns some of them.
She owns
every-
a very small number of them.
She owns every single one of them.
Doesn't.
Okay, right. I
they all
think
At least you're not Canada where the geese are protected.
if your train is going slow enough that you can spot a swan up ahead and stop in time
not
for
hard
it,
to spot
it
them.
was already going too slow.
I know,
My
right?
opinion.
They probably had a warning from further up the line.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
A warning from further. At least says
Because people are
swan
monitoring-
inspector.
People are
like
monitoring tracks.
swans.
People monitor the tracks. They don't
People
just
are
fucking-
stupid. They like swans.
Hey man,
They're
swans
pretty.
are cool. They're majestic.
Swans are fucking terrifying, actually.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Kick them in the
Especially
head.
if they've got
I
kids.
respect swans as you know exactly
Oh
what
yeah,
they're about.
I absolutely respect them, but I fear them.
If you
As
don't
you
mess
should.
with them, they won't mess with you.
That's
you know?
not true.
Not true at all.
That is not true.
You
They
see
will
a
fuck with
swan,
you.
put some distance between you and the
Yeah,
swan.
you should.
They will close that gap.
No,
Should
no.
they choose to? No, they do.
It's geese who are more aggressive than.
No, swans are aggressive as well, mate.
No, geese are the ones who've got idea above their station. Geese
Catsman has been to Canada, it seems.
Geese think they're cool boys, but actually they're not. Whereas swans are cool boys.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's Thibaut.
I imagine this being a sort of abstract level with like pictures at an exhibition playing in the background, like da 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 da.
Is it a walking simulator?
No, it's not a walking simulator. Nothing with with panic in the name is a walking simulator.
What if it's some sort of like management sim game? So the panic is that Stourhead is going to be closing if you don't attract enough customers. So you got to do crazy stuff like, oh, today is Swan Day, bag a Swan Day. Any swan that you manage to bag, you
Kick
can
a Swan
take
Day.
home. Like crazy attractions to get people to come to National Trust. Like
Everyone wants to kick a swan, of course they want to come.
and then the next level would be Deer and Park Panic, and you'd do the same thing but with deers rather than swans because I'm out of ideas.
The
at
sad
this point.
thing
We didn't
is
have enough
that
money in the Kickstarter.
I'm reliably informed that swans taste shit if you actually eat them.
Probably. The richer the bird, the shittier
From
it
someone who
tastes.
does regular work at Buckingham Palace as a first aider, I'm reliably informed.
Why the fuck would you want to eat a swan? And moreover, why would you, being a first aider, enable you to be eating swans?
Because
he has
got to give us
some rich person has choked on a swan and he has to suck the swan out of their throat through mouth to mouth.
That's the only way.
Moogle works at Buckingham Palace?
No, I don't. I know someone who does part-time volunteer work with the Red Cross and does royal events at Buckingham Palace.
No, everyone in Britain has to work at least 4 months at Buckingham Palace.
It's true, it's true. You have to learn how to salute the Queen properly, of course, and it's very important work.
We all know, of course, that this game is a ridiculous sort of fantasy thing because the National Trust are swimming in money. I went to the Strid and it cost £10 to park near the
What is
Strid.
that?
The Strid is a channel of water through which the entirety of the River Aire flows, but it's like 3 feet wide, and the River Aire is like a massive river. So
Who calls the River Aire?
Hey, don't you make fun of Yorkshire? We invented Yorkshire.
Yorkshire what?
Yorkshire puddings. Yorkshire puddings.
Yorkshire.
We invented Yorkshire.
Yorkshire tea.
Yorkshire. What is Yorkshire? Look. The Strid.
Yorkshire. We invented Yorkshire.
The Strid is the most dangerous bit of river in the country. Lots of people die of it.
Are there hippos in it?
Then why does it still exist?
Hippos would not survive in the Strid. It would kill you.
What's the what?
The
Strid. Is that the one that's like deceptively fast currently?
Yeah, it looks like a little trickling stream of water, but it's actually like a gigantic volume of water being forced through an underground passage that's incredibly narrow.
Nice.
And yeah, if you fall in it, it will suck you underneath immediately. You'll die instantaneously.
Nice.
They've sent little cameras down it, and they've all been destroyed. Nothing has ever been recovered.
That's fucking
The Strid
amazing.
is the most hardcore river. It costs £10 to park nearby, though.
Yeah,
Nice.
they want to at least get your money if you're going to kill yourself.
What kind of cryptids do you think live in there?
Lots of the best cryptids.
Lots of the best. I agree.
Chupacabra.
Cryptids.
The Loch Ness Monster. It's on vacation.
The Loch Ness Monster would not survive the terror of the Strid. Now, let me tell you something. Does Lancashire have a Strid? Nope.
Okay.
Lancashire shit.
They
I
could
feel
do if
like-
they wanted one.
This podcast has become too England-centric, and I will now forward it over to Happy Man to tell us something of Swedish culture.
Shit.
Other than like, I don't know, like racism
Tell
or
us
whatever.
about skeletons, Happy.
Skeletons are culture.
Skeletons are culture.
What?
Absolutely
They are.
Right. You're absolutely correct.
I'm just waiting for Skeleton of the Month to be.
Skeletons don't have
Kate
culture.
Moss.
Well, we don't do it every month, so we can, it's not really skeleton
I
month.
get
It's just
that
like
reference.
the
Skeleton month.
featured skeleton or something like that. But like,
Do you have a skeleton for this?
So I wanted to find one from Castlevania, but I couldn't find a GIF of it. It's a visual thing, so I'll get that one for next
Were
time.
you trying
So I
to
was
find the
prepared.
one at the top of that room that... I think you know the one. I think you know the one I mean.
What room?
In the Castlevania Chronicles room, the one
Oh,
on
that
like
was
4
terrifying.
legs.
But
That one was terrifying.
So, okay, yeah, Catsman, you wanted something from Swedish culture and a skeleton. Well, Here is a wooden statue type thing that sits in my dad's office.
Oh man!
It is a skeleton embracing a sexy lady.
Wow!
What?
Fucking love
Whoa. That's
Your dad seems like a cool dude.
He's pretty awesome. Look at this fucking thing. This
I
will
like
be...
that he's winking also.
Yeah.
Or is that her eyelashes?
This will be in the show notes. I think it's the eyelashes, but I like better that he's supposed to be winking.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, it's an awesome
Oh yeah,
skill.
Trent is done. Yay.
I'm learning the sort of lore of Happy Man as my time is going. Like, for example, it's not just him that has the skeletons. It's apparently
many years,
a family
we're
one.
It does shed a lot of light as to how he's got to this position.
We're unlocking deeper channels of information. Who the fuck is Mike?
Oh,
Hey.
Mike.
Channel, yeah.
What do you mean, who the fuck is Mike?
Who the
How
fuck
did
is
you
Mike?
say that?
Hey, Mike.
It's
What the fuck is
Mike.
up, Mike?
What are you talking about?
Hey
It's
Mike, who the fuck are you?
I thought it was Mickey.
The Mickey Mike Daddy.
You guys seem in a good mood for some reason.
We saw a
Mickey,
skeleton.
Hey, Mike.
It was the
Me
best.
as a cultured American
Check out this.
know that it's because you guys were all watching the James Comey investigation shit yesterday.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's why British people are happy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Isn't
What
Comey
actually, what actually came of that?
Basically
It's a
nothing.
big fucking nothing burger.
I mean, it seems to point more to a deep-seated incompetence than anything else, which we could have inferred from the last
Yeah.
year
No,
of
there's something-
politics.
CD Projekt
no.
Red got hacked and are now being...
CD Projekt Red got hacked. You know, folks.
Yeah, that's shitty. I know that.
Well,
It's
I
like-
mean, apparently, apparently,
NHS. They got over it.
yeah, I know. But all right, so apparently, though, like hackers tried to like ransom off parts of Cyberpunk, and CD Projekt said like it's a super early build of the game. Like we're not going to negotiate with you. So
Fuck
go
off.
ahead and leak it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, well, also, I mean, Cyberpunk's not
great
going to be for a
marketing stunt.
while. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the fucking
2 years ago.
It's the fucking GOG people, so they do marketing stunts. Don't you remember? Good Old Games is closing down.
That's like when my mate Ben Shart said, "My,
Good old
that's my,
boys.
I don't know why it always comes back to." He said, "My dog Bumpy's died. His hair black. His dog Bumpy hadn't even dyed his hair. He strung me along for nothing."
But anyways, the Good Old Games thing was Good Old Games is closing down, and then the next day we're launching GOG.com.
Oh, I do remember that.
Look,
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay, Mike.
I don't know if it's we'll see if a bunch of like Cyberpunk alpha files make it.
I'm always interested in like alpha versions of games, so that would be right up my alley. Actually, I remember clawing through all of the Half-Life 2 alphas and being like, wow, they chose like the blandest possible story that they could have out of all of the stuff that they fucking threw at the wall.
Yeah, oh man, there was a like a Kickstarter alpha that came out for Lisa the Painful. I've been trying to get a hold of that thing for like since the game came out. I haven't been able to get it.
I finally finished that game recently. That was good.
It's a tremendous game.
That's so tremendous.
You like it because there's wrestling stuff in it, Happy?
Yes, because it's wrestling stuff. No, wrestling stuff is an added bonus, but it's an awesome game anyway.
Yeah.
So the point is, Tony
Video
Hawk
games.
is still a skateboarder.
Well, that's a relief.
Bubsy is still a video game character.
We will move on to my next segment, which is
not video
reviews
games.
of local businesses.
Oh,
Oh my
Jesus.
god,
Yeah,
this sounds
God.
riveting. This sounds so exciting.
I actually want to hear about this.
I would actually rather
Why
talk about
happy?
fucking Comey. Like, Jesus Christ, that's how fucking stupid this sounds.
No, okay, right.
Reviews
so-
of local businesses. Let's hear it.
Hold
Let's hear
on.
it.
I've actually got video games things to talk about. Can we do that instead?
Okay,
Oh, you got
Specs.
connections?
Okay, Specs, fine, but we'll come back to this. We'll come. It's not going away,
it's a
If we
Specs.
must,
It's a-
I'll
You're
try and-
only
I'll
delaying
try
the
and prolong it,
inevitable,
everyone.
Specs.
Let's look, Specs. Let's get it out of the way. Let's do this fucking business shit.
We never have anything to say about video games.
Get it down. I can talk
Let's
about
just-
video games.
Let's do
Yeah,
specs
I've got
first.
talking
Specs first.
point on
Just
video
get
games.
it out of the way. What local businesses have you been reviewing, Catsman?
No, specs first.
We're specs first.
Okay, so I've been thinking recently about like when is the right time to review a video game with like DLC stuff. That's the thing, because like with Breath of the Wild is one of the examples I was thinking of. Because don't worry, no spoilers.
Okay.
When it came out, I was thinking, this is like a 7.5. Now with the language patch, with all the patches to make it run better, and then the DLC coming out, actually it's looking like an 8.5 to me now. DLC might improve that further. With the new Final Fantasy game as well, Final Fantasy 15, they brought out like story, not even DLC, like a story patch, because one of the chapters was so bad, and they're bringing out all these new chapters where you get to play as the other characters other than just Noctis. So if you watch a review of a game or read a review of a game when it's come out and it's like, well, it sounds all right, but it sounds like there could be more to it, and then you don't get the idea that actually this has been improved upon over the years, and what's its new score?
Too bad.
Well, that does
You reviewed
the game when it came out.
It does make sense, because like The Witcher 3, for example, went over a lot of patches that really changed like a lot in terms of the gameplay. Darkest Dungeon is going to be forever early access.
Early access is something different.
Well, no, but like it technically released, and it's still doing that early access thing where they're iterating on it. They're like continually balancing a single player game. Obsidian is like obsessive about it too. Like they were patching Pillars of Eternity like 2 years on.
Yeah, so what do you think? Should people sort of review stuff incrementally, like every year something should be re-reviewed if it's got ongoing content, and say, now here's the new score? Because it may get better, it may get worse.
No,
pretty much.
How the DLC is.
I don't think things should be reviewed. Sorry. Okay, Specs, you mentioned
listen to your friends when it comes to video games.
I don't think you should be reviewed. Moving on to local business reviews.
You mentioned that Breath of the Wild had gone from a 7.5 to an 8.5. Okay. Yep. What game is a 1 out of 10 for you?
What game is a 1 out of 10 for me?
Okay, Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine.
I mean, it would have to be like actually unplayable to be a one.
Castlevania 2 is
okay. So you're saying that Breath of the Wild has gotten Castlevania 2 better. You see where I'm going with this?
I can kind of see where you're going with this.
Numerically, it's just like it's a smattering.
This is like that guy who looked at numbers and thought there was meaning in them. There's not meaning in numbers. There's not meaning in any of this.
Okay, but even
it's just a sequence
There's
of
not
random
meaning in
events.
any of this that we're doing right now, so we should just stop recording and cancel the
There's
whole
no
fucking
semantic value.
If we ignore the numbers, though, and
not even the numbers, just the words.
Fucking God.
The words. If someone says, "Yeah, this game is good," but
what does that mean?
This, and then
it needs another Castlevania.
Then it would need another review.
What I do is when I've got a game that I've made that's like 6.5 out of 10, I apply 4 Castlevania 2s.
It's just an extra. It's an extra option at the start menu, where just like you have the game like load, save, continue, all that stuff, and then you just have Castlevania 2.
Load, save, Castlevania 2, Doug. That's all the options I need. Wow, that was
options to run Castlevania 2 on launch.
The only option is to turn the CRT overlay on or off. But if you turn it off, the game just calls you a bad name. That's my opinion.
Okay.
What was the point of this thing that you were saying, Specs?
The question was
just video games.
Like video game. Well, my point is video games should not be reviewed at release, because often the reviewer doesn't have like the day one patch.
Well, I mean,
day one DLC. There's going to be DLC ongoing.
No.
The thing is, games didn't used to come out that way, though.
Exactly. Finish your fucking game before you put it out.
Come out, and that was it.
There have been instances though where like in fucking movies, fucking Blade Runner, when it originally came out, had this stupid fucking voiceover. Like there was so much wrong with it. And when people talk about like how great fucking Blade Runner is, they're talking about like the director's cut that was released years later. So I can see why there is some like speculation on it. But yes, you're absolutely right. I think the game development cycle has
Guido shot first.
I mean,
Rusty, I have a concept for you. Let people finish speaking before you just start yelling. That would be a cool thing.
That's an example of just unpatching something. That's.
I think that the difference is that there was a vision with Blade Runner that sort of got waylaid, and then the patches that they issued to Blade Runner over the years brought it closer to what the original vision and meaning of the work is. Whereas you see a fucking game sitting there in early access, update 12th of September, added a Zomble surviving mode. Update 19th of September.
Zomble surviving.
Added trading cards with all of the characters' ears on them. 14th of November, added two jump buttons. One of them makes you double jump. It's like there's no idea of what it's supposed to be anymore. Okay. It's just what random thing focus tests
But that actually is a fucking good parallel. Product. If you're talking about games that are actually released, like a lot of them, they're under pressure from developers because they want to sell at the right time. And they release like games that are, I think, by the creator's sense, by the sense of whoever's making its vision, are not complete. And then they, as a service, to be like, no, but we want, if someone were to come back and replay this game to remember how fucking great it was, we would want them to play the actual version we wanted to release. But they're fucking game developers, so they don't have the luxury of just telling a producer, I'm going to push it back again and again and again and again and again.
I don't have any opinions on this actual topic.
Yeah, me
neither. Okay.
How about in businesses, Catsman?
Yeah, local businesses.
A pupil of Kirkstall Valley Primary School says, it's the most horrible school in the world. I got expelled 1 star.
That's not really I guess it's a business.
Okay. Yeah. If you leave Betsy DeVos in charge, hey, keeping it fresh, keeping people paying attention on their toes.
He got reaccepted to the school, and then he had a better experience at the school and wrote a new review later and said, actually, the school is now 1 Castlevania 2 better than it was when I got expelled. 2 stars.
That's a funny joke.
Well, that'd be out of like 5. Instead of 10, so it'd be 2 Castlevania 2s.
It'd be half a Castlevania 2, Jesus.
Well, I'm sorry, I went to schools and Betsy DeVos is in charge of them.
MFA Bowl Leeds is a bowling alley I went to once. It was depressing and it's situated in a basement below a multi-story car park. William McGregor says, a bit sticky, but it does the job. 4 stars.
I've often been described like that.
If I were to touch you, would I be able to rest my hand free, or would that be it? Would we be permanently stuck together?
I wouldn't allow you to rest it free. That's what I've dreamed of all these days.
People always leeching off of my superior nutrients. You won't get them. You won't get them.
I need them.
No, you won't.
Sorry about that. My phone went and I had to go answer it.
You missed nothing.
I know I missed absolutely nothing.
Are we supposed to be finding bad reviewed places from our own areas, or
if you want?
I can tell you a really great place.
That's a great chair, Happy Man.
It's that's some satisfying squeaks. But no, it's called Jonathan's Sports Pub, and it's really trashy, and it's walking distance from my house, so it's already like 4 stars. The guy who runs it, it's kind of sad when you look at it sort of closely, because like he really has been drinking for too long. Like it's starting to get kind of slow, but he's like still like a really fun, lovable guy. And they pour you these huge. You order a shot, they pour you a full fucking highball glass of whatever you order.
Holy shit!
Happy wants to go here now.
Yeah, that's America for you.
Yeah.
That's the guy, America.
Here's the level. Here's the rapport he has with like me and my roommates. Like he always demands that we like say hi to him and stuff when we go in the bar. And like one night we walk in and it was like super busy and so it was super crowded. And so we just sat at a table and just kind of waited because like there's only like 2 bartenders, swamped as hell. And he dropped what he was doing as we like sat down at the table and grabbed a handful of little cardboard coasters and threw them at us. and demanded that we place our order. And so you know, it's a place where everybody knows your name.
Man, this guy's great.
Yeah, no, it's a great place. For some reason, they make pizza and Italian food too.
Do they serve anything that can be described as a bomb?
A bomb? I mean, you can ask for it, but like they don't have super high quality like liquor or anything, and they don't light anything on fire, and they don't have like the cocktail specials are like those. I guess you wouldn't really know this sort of stereotype, but there's a kind of northeastern redneck, and they don't really have like a southern accent, but they're like rural, and they wear plaid, and they're just kind of a little bit off from the people you see in the city. But it's a lot of those people, and so it's the cocktails they come up with. So it's like, oh yeah, you want like ginger ale and rum with a cherry in it. Those are the kinds. Those are the kinds of cocktails.
Beer and beer.
Do the bar staff think I'm an asshole because I order a Long Island iced tea? Because I like the way they taste. Well, people tell me it's an asshole drink.
They taste disgusting.
I like the way they taste.
Like Long Island iced tea varies. Long Island iced tea varies from place to place, unless you're in like a ritzier part of town. Where
why would I be in a ritzier part of town?
I don't know your socioeconomic business.
My hair is like as long as me, and I wear sandals in November.
It's just long as me.
But yeah, no. Long Island iced tea can be a lot of different things unless you're among like cocktail purists, and you don't want to be among them unless you're like really fucking drunk. It's kind of a headache.
I have to give a review that I never intended to give of a cocktail bar near me called Straub's Bar. The owner of the Straub's Bar is a militant atheist, and
nice.
I used to go there back before it became popular because we were the only people in there, and the owner would do mad bants with us. I once went there and I ordered a White Russian, and the waitress said, "Hold on a minute," and then she asked the guy how to make a White Russian, and then she said, "Where's the milk?" and then she was like, "I'm sorry, I'll have to be right back," and she had to go and get milk from the basement. So I now believe that the Straub's Bar is a front for something that just happens to have accidentally become very commercially successful. But I'll never tell a soul except on this podcast, which is only listened to by a select few people.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
Yeah,
you should be wary of White Russians in a greasy bar because the milk might be out of date.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It was UHT milk.
England has that super milk that fucking never goes old.
Never goes old. Yeah.
Opened.
And the cocktails were like £1.50 when everywhere else.
Christ.
Yeah. Wow, that's like.
No, they were £1.50 there. Everywhere else, they're like £5. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Every story I hear.
I will take you to all of these places when next you come to the City of a Thousand Tears, Happy Man.
Yeah.
We will drink cheap cocktails made with UHT milk until our eyes go blind.
If any of you guys find yourself in my nation's capital, I was about to say our, and I realize there's no other fucking Americans here.
No one can bother to show up.
Yeah, we invited all of the Americans, and none of them showed up.
How dare they?
Well, all of like the standard Americans.
I mean, with Paul Ryan in charge of the economy, who can afford to fly? Am I right? New rules, people. New rules. There's a place you guys gotta come. It's called Foong Lin. It is a Chinese restaurant. It's owned by Mr. Foong and his wife Lin, and they serve like tiki Hawaiian themed drinks and like other like classic like Chinese bar things. So you can get like a scorpion, a suffering bastard, zombie, dark and stormy, all that shit.
Did you say a suffering bastard?
Yeah, suffering bastard.
Is that a drink?
Yeah,
that's like fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's like one of those like it's one of those drinks. It came from the Pacific somewhere. I think it's one of those things like a lot of people claim like, no, this is where it's from. But yeah, so the thing about that is Mr. Foon will get drunk with you.
God, that's sick.
Like you can just bring a bottle of liquor into the bar. It's in Maryland, but just outside of DC. It's like one stop outside of DC. But yeah, you can bring a bottle of liquor into the bar, and then just after more and more people leave because you know it's also a restaurant. But after enough people leave, like he'll just really start getting wasted. And if you can keep up with him, you know you can bust out that bottle of liquor. He'll drink some. You know you can drink some. You don't have to pay for drinks anymore. And then eventually he'll get drunk to the point where he'll be hungry. And he'll want to eat something, and so he'll go back into the kitchen, just cook food for everyone.
Nice.
Holy shit!
That sounds cool.
Should we all go to
it's not
Mike's
a very
house?
business plan.
Let's go tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
That
I
sounds
got
like
this.
the best plan.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, come to America.
This is greasy ass bar where I live called Rock Bar. Good name, I know.
It's just called Rock
Yeah, it's
Bar.
just called Rock Bar.
Nice.
And they play a shitty metal music at a pretty high volume. There's
okay.
I'm not telling stories about the bar. I'm gonna talk about some of the people who I have seen there who are frequent there. So there's this guy, there's this steampunk guy. He wears steampunk goggles and a huge
everywhere
top hat.
has a steampunk guy. Every city has
come
one.
come to America.
And
then
they don't go out in public.
I'm already on.
He's
the
weird as fuck.
friend.
Like I run into this guy every time I go to that greasy bar. I imagine he just goes there all the time. But he's
sure
really
he's not a
nice.
barman?
So he's just like a
maybe.
regular old guy, but steampunk.
Yeah, but he has a huge mustache and everything.
He has a huge mustache.
What's the steampunk about him? Does he wear like cogs on his jacket?
Yeah, he's got like a steampunk cog glasses. He's got a huge top hat. You know, like a like one of those fucking nice suit jackets, whatever they're called, and a huge mustache.
How old would you say he is?
Probably like 30 or late 20s.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he's the least weird. We got a 10 man who he is a super old man who always goes by everyone and asks for a tenor. Only asks for tenors. And
I've
he's
heard
been
of this
around.
guy. You
He's
told
been
me about
around.
this guy.
Yeah, he's been around for like 20 years. Like he spent his entire life asking for tenors.
20 years of tenors.
Yeah,
Tenors. Fill me in.
That's
10 of
that's 10 crowns.
10 crowns.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
I thought
like
like
£1 or
10
$1.
ounces or something, or like small
No.
drinks or something.
10 ounces of gold.
And he's looked identical like the entire time. He doesn't age. He's just like a spirit.
So you gotta be
This
careful
counts.
of people who don't age.
Yeah, I guess so. But that guy's best day ever was when there was an anime convention in town, and there was a fucking line to get in when it opened. It was like a fucking block long, and 10 men went down the entire fucking line of cosplays and nerds and asking tenors. That was a good day for him.
I
like,
thought you were gonna say there was a line for 10 man.
no.
Just to see 10 man.
No. But everybody knows 10 Man though. He's the most famous. There's this one guy. I've only met him once, but he was pretty funny. There was this super old drunk guy. All these people are old, but like me and
Why do you know so many old people?
I don't know. Me and Hexler were drinking in this greasy bar, and an old man comes down, sits next to us without a word, gets a fucking harmonica out and just starts playing it, and he's super good at the harmonica. And we just listened to him for like 5 minutes before the fucking bar people throw him out. I was super pissed. Fuck that. I wanted to hear more of him.
Jazz harmonica or blues harmonica?
It was blues harmonica. I never saw him again. That's what pisses me off. I see so many regulars at the Greasy Rock Bar, but I never saw that guy again. Yeah, that's my greasy people I know from the Greasy Bar.
That sounds awesome. So wait. Who else has bar stories? Who else?
Tell me about your Greasy Bar. People in the comments, I want to hear about your Greasy Bars.
I would love some greasy bar stories, actually. I'm trying to think if there's any other, like, legendarily greasy
the bar
bars.
that my friends and I go to, I don't drink, but I'll go out with my friends sometimes to a bar. It's called Firebug, and it's just the place we go. I've been there a few times, and they've been going there for years. Maybe not last week, maybe a couple of weeks ago, it's like a month ago, they discovered that actually this bar has an upstairs, and nobody knew about it.
Nice.
Until
Not
a
even
month
the
ago.
owners.
Not even the owners. It was discovered. Like, I haven't seen it. I need to go.
Oh,
see
wow.
the episodes. That's my only bar.
There's always the fucking CD club near the train station in Ashford, which used to have advertisements of a woman licking a cat, which was always entertaining.
Here's my question. All right. So in America, we have bars that are themed around like being, it's like, no, it's a British style pub, even though it's just like they have Guinness on tap, and everything else is just like an American like club style bar. There's like a bouncer and everything.
Nobody in the United Kingdom drinks Guinness. However, yes. it is a sort of a hobby of lots of British people to get into pointless arguments with bouncers and then get sort of knocked out.
Oh, okay.
We love doing that.
But are there bouncers at pubs? Because I always thought,
it depends how rough the area is, but there can be.
It usually happens like after 9:30.
Yeah,
is when the bouncers show up.
I'd say 3 o'clock in the morning outside that sort of the sort of chip shop or the chicken shop with the food hygiene rating of 1 star or the food hygiene rating of 0 star, that you didn't know it was possible for a place to get 0 stars, but this place has it. And there's someone fighting. It's like -2 degrees, and there's 2 girls wearing barely anything outside who are having like a fight in the middle of the street, and there's like a police car slowly driving up the road, and you're home.
This is basically my summer ball
in the city of 1,000 tears.
Leeds, the city of 1,000 tears.
Oh,
I love it.
It's back to 1,000 now.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Irish themed bars?
Yes.
Not actual like Irish bars, but like, all right, so an Irish themed bar in America is for people who just like claim themselves as Irish American, even though they might be like 90% German.
My grandfather's 1/8 Irish.
I've got that Irish temper, so I get into fights a lot.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about that, Mike, because why do Americans love Ireland so much?
Because it's like a twofold thing. I think there's a certain desire to not just be a generic American. Like, Americans need something to distinguish.
You gotta be a special American.
You gotta be a special American. So
have no history of their own, so they must instead steal.
Yeah, Americans have history, and there's plenty of like subcultures in America, but there's still this desire to put some like distinguishing thing. So you'll have people going like, well, I'm like actually like 1/16 Native American, and for some reason this DNA, as opposed to how I was raised or where I live or how much money I have, is really the thing that's defining my personality.
Generican.
I've never seen an Irish bar in the United Kingdom, but when I went on a business trip to Germany, all of my colleagues went out and got absolutely plastered at an Irish bar in Germany, in one of the port places, the sort of grim industrial ones. I forget where. I think, why? You're in Germany. Why not go somewhere German with German beer? Why go all the way to Germany just to go to a German Irish bar?
All right.
Why? Yeah, why go? Why go all the way to Japan to go to America Town?
Gentlemen discussing pubs.
The reason that I know that Irish pubs exist in the UK is that my boss was thrown out of one for being too loud.
My roommate got
this is
the only one near me.
This is ironic because the party was being hosted by the Irish Embassy, so technically he got thrown out of the Irish Embassy party for being too drunk. Which is one of his claims to fame.
That's really good.
Yeah, really great.
No, that is nice. So do they follow the same formula though? Like, do all Irish like themed pubs? It's like what? It's paneling. You already said that people don't drink Guinness, but that doesn't mean they don't have it on tap. For like appearance's sake.
Oh, they have it on tap. Yeah.
Guinness is on tap pretty much everywhere in the UK, but nobody drinks it. It's very
but
Jameson
actual
specials.
Irish people don't drink it. People who are like, oh, I'm a quarter Irish or whatever, they drink it.
Yeah. There's our Irish bar actually near where I live actually had the pleasure of having an actual Irish person there. at the bar, and a friend was actually mystified as to why it wasn't okay to order an Irish car bomb. It's one of those things like you immediately like hand in your, well, you know, actually I'm like really Irish, you know, cards. Like you immediately have tipped your hand.
You don't have to know anything. You don't even know. You just have to be able to use whatever.
No, like you're vastly overestimating America's knowledge of other countries, because there are conservative Americans, you know, there are American Republicans who are like, it's like, oh, you're an Irish Republican, I'm a Republican. No, and no irony, no, like, it never gets explained to them.
I mean, I was going to make some sort of like broad political point about like the history of Ireland or something, but now all I can think of is
we can just call Americans fucking stupid, you know. I'm here for that. I'll be your shield.
The Butler's Hotel, Alex Baker, worst hotel I've ever visited. There was blood on the sheets.
Worst hotel I've ever visited?
There was blood on the sheets, the shower was cold, and the kettle didn't work. 1 star. What I like about that rule of 3 is that he starts with the worst, with what I would consider to be the worst one, with blood on the sheets. But according to the rule of 3, you leave the worst one for the last. So I think in his estimation, blood on the sheets, maybe I can forgive it. Kettle didn't work. 1 star.
Tea is very important to
I think
us.
that's fair. I think that's fair, though.
I mean, you can get over there being blood.
Yeah.
So long as you can have a cuppa.
Yeah, if you can have a nice cuppa, that takes away the pain. Of
one of those hotel cuppas from one of those weird like 90s hotel kettles.
Why do you need the shower to be warm if you can have a nice hot cup of tea?
If it put it at the end that there were no like free tea bags and free coffee to take, then I would have understood. But as it is,
they only had Lapsang Souchon.
Ugh, fuck me.
The Boundary Hotel, Alex Graham. Lots of Alexes reviewing hotels. You need to open 10 doors to reach your room. Old Style and Saw Rabbits, Gerbish Hotel. No way be warned. 1 star.
Gerbish Hotel.
Gerbish. Sainsbury's, a chain supermarket. Lee Deuce says, served by a lovely boy called Josh. He had a nice bum. 5 stars.
Whoa! Nice.
Oh, you just reminded me. It's Ramadan at the moment, which means the Ramadan deals will be on at Tesco.
Nice.
I am going to get so many cans of tomatoes.
Wait, the Ramadan deals?
Yeah, you get Ramadan deals at Tesco in Leicester because we got a large Asian population. So you get like 5 cans of tomatoes for £1 and stuff. So,
damn, I gotta get in on this.
Yeah, go somewhere with a Muslim population of Ramadan and you get Ramadan deals.
Meanwhile, in America, it's summer. And so a lot of school-age children are going without breakfast and lunch. You can text food to 877-877 and receive a message about where the closest food kitchen is for you, in case you were relying on school lunch programs.
No, we've got loads of people visiting food banks here in the UK, so don't worry about it.
All right.
No,
see, that's that spiritual connection we have.
Yeah.
Why do you have so many poor people?
Because
there's a lot of theories on that.
I can explain this to you in like a second.
Rich people.
No.
Yep. Yeah.
We have plenty of those in Switzerland.
I can't explain that to you in a second. In fact, I am not knowledgeable enough about politics to explain to you that. But it's probably
technically I am a rich person.
We failed to seize the means of production.
Exactly.
I voted for a certain set of people who I'd call the jolly good folks, and then there was another group of people. There's another group of people who I'm going to call those fuckers. You know them. You didn't vote for them either. Those fuckers. And those fuckers tried to take all of the jolly good folks shit, and that's why we have 4 people.
Those fuckers are shit.
I believe that many people would have you believe that it's due to immigration and solely due to immigration.
Exactly. Those fuckers. rapes.
Oh my god. Maybe the episodes we call those fuckers are shit.
America was so much better before all those German immigrants came over. Before all those German and Irish immigrants came over.
And the Portuguese.
With their stupid Pope.
And the Spanish.
And the French. Don't forget about the French.
And the English.
Oh dear.
English are the worst of all. They get everywhere.
Oh my god.
And they're always like, look how much we've improved this place.
Yeah. We made the railways.
Yeah, we made the railways. I mean, lots of railways undoes all the rapes, right? That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Colonialism.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at America, we got one railway that just like combines all of it. So I think it came out like net behind.
But do you have Isambard Kingdom Brunel? A man who built structures so pointlessly large, people died while building them for no reason.
And they still
we have that today with the fucking with that fucking World Cup stadium that was being built by slaves. Qatar. Yeah,
they got Trump on the wall. That's all you need.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
That is a big thing. It's not going to happen though. No,
they're not fucking building it. No one's fighting. The former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, just keeps talking shit, and it's regardless of party affiliation. I still say it's fucking hilarious because he just keeps saying it's like there's no way Mexico is paying for that fucking wall.
It's like stop fucking talking about the fucking wall.
I'm sick of these motherfucking walls on this motherfucking border.
Yeah, you ruined it.
Rusty, leave that in fucking 2006 where it belongs, please.
So how about video games, my dudes?
Does anyone have any video game related topics that they like?
There is a 4-player. If you bought the Dota 2 Compendium, there is a 4-player co-op mode.
What do you mean if I bought the Dota 2 Compendium?
If you bought the special thing that the little hat mini game thing that they release every year when they have their big tournament, there's a 4-player co-op mode. That's kind of cool. It's like they
more importantly, who the fuck's been playing Magikarp Jump?
No.
Playing what now? Sorry.
Games.
Magikarp Jump.
What the fuck is Magikarp Jump?
It's a mobile game. No, it's a mobile game. Literally, all you do is feed your Magikarp, then make it jump. And then when it maxes its level out and it can't jump any higher, you just retire it and get another one.
Wait, it's a Magikarp, so it's like a magical cop?
No, Magikarp is in the Pokemon, you dingus.
A Magikarp?
Carp.
It flies.
Yes.
Okay.
Magikarp. Jump. It's really good. I've got a pink one right now.
Of course you do.
This is less pointful than not hot dog.
Less is pointful.
Less pointful. I can't even comprehend what that means.
Less pointful than not hot dog.
Less pointful. I just don't understand.
Okay. I have a video game.
It's free now.
What's free?
You have a video
public
game.
Service announcement. Payday 2 is free on Steam.
But Payday 2 is already a microtransaction factory, so don't go.
No, they got rid of it. The company that like makes it bought back the rights to it so that they could be publishers, so that they could get rid of the microtransactions.
Wait,
and
really?
then they're releasing a deluxe version.
That game, man, is like completely different every year.
There's a lot of DLC.
It's almost like Team Fortress 2.
But it's not like microtransactions. You were able to like buy keys to open crates that you get in the game, but now you just get the keys and the crates free.
I like the iterations that Team Fortress 2 went through. You unlock stuff with achievements, and then there's like a store, and then it was like free to play, and now it's a series of comics. It's taking forever.
Not anymore, because all the writers left the company. There's not a single one left now.
Really?
Yeah.
The last one recently left.
That's really sad.
No more don't make video games anymore.
No more comics. That was all I was hanging on to fucking TF2 for. I haven't played that game in years.
Okay, so
Likewise.
I wrote this for a podcast that was supposed to go out in January.
Nice.
Or like February, or like months ago, and it was supposed to go out ages ago. And at the time I wrote it, I was under NDA, and I'm not under NDA anymore. But fuck me if I'm going to rewrite it. So I got into the Quake Champions closed beta, but I'm under NDA.
Beta.
I'm not under NDA. I'm under NDA, so I can't talk about it. So instead, I would like to talk about Unreal. Back in the old days, I was like a Quake guy. I love Doom. I love Doom 2, Quake 1 and 3. 2 was okay. I mean, Unreal's soundtrack was better, but the rest of Quake was better. Started going off Quake around Quake Live. Quake Live was okay at first, but its software basically like, hey, how can we... Happy Man, your chair is louder than me.
Yep.
That was on purpose.
Sure is.
No, it wasn't on purpose, but
Wait, let me start up my printer.
Yo, what am I supposed to do about this? I mean,
I'm almost talking about push to talk. I'm almost talking about a video game, almost. But don't worry, I'll seg you into some bullshit. Yeah, they completely ruined it. They killed the balance. They removed the cross-platform. So anyway, around the time I got into the new Unreal Tournament, the open source one, it was actually really good. So because I can't talk about Quake Live because I'm under NDA, I will now list all of the things I like about the new Unreal Tournament. Number 1, the new Unreal Tournament does not have a loading screen to load the menu that takes 2 minutes, and then another loading screen to load the game that has another 3 minutes. Unreal is upfront about its system requirements, and if you meet the system requirements, then you'll run at the rate that the system requirements say that you will. Unreal Tournament is free, and you don't have to pay money to rent the characters, or they go away. Unreal has understated voices, and every time you spawn, the characters don't say one of the same 3 really annoying lines, one of which is, "Looks like my kingdom's finally come." Over and over and over again.
Pretty hot.
"Looks like my kingdom's finally come.
You're getting good at that.
Gotta get back to that slipgate. Looks like my kingdom's finally come." My favorite thing about Unreal Tournament is that it's a skill-based FPS that doesn't have a class system where you don't have to buy classes with real-world money, and you don't buy classes, you only rent them. Unreal isn't like that. They don't have classes because they care about the balance of their game. So yeah, if you ever want to play the new Unreal, hit me up. And that's my review of Quake Champions.
what's it cost?
It's a free-to-play game with fucking playable characters that you can't buy permanently without spending real money on them. Although you can rent them with in-game money, of course. So it's got that going for it.
I think I zoned out for a bit. I can't tell whether you dislike Quake Champions,
He dislikes Quake Champions, he likes Unreal,
or you hate them both.
Basically, there's a guy who follows Chris Wagar around. Anyone remember him? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy who follows Chris Wagar around and leaves a negative comment on every article he makes, and I'm trying to bait him into leaving a negative comment calling me an elitist not for liking a shit game like Quake fucking Champions.
What Cat's saying here is that it isn't Doom and he doesn't give a fuck.
What I'm saying is they took Quake, which is basically perfect, and they dumbed it down, and then they added a feature that only exists so that they could charge people money for classes when one class is objectively better than another class, and then they added annoying voice lines, and then it has a literal 5-minute worth of loading just to get into the game.
Right, so
even on an SSD it takes 5 minutes to load.
And then I bet you've got searching times for a game as well.
And of course it doesn't load while searching. Why would it do that? Why would it do anything that didn't waste my goddamn time? Doom was shit. And if you like it, well, I disagree with you.
Which Doom?
The new one.
The new one.
Oh, fuck off.
Cats despises it.
Fuck off.
Why?
I won't
because it doesn't
play anything
exactly like
that's
Doom
not
2.
Doom 2.
Does it can look up and down?
No, I don't mind looking up and down. But the game is basically, the whole design of the game is designed to make you think that you're playing a really cool, fast-paced Twitch shooter with lots of skill, when actually you're playing a modern casual shooter with what is basically regenerating health and insta-kill, death moves and scripted events. And it's just a carefully veneer that is thrown over your eyes. And the minute you see something that breaks the illusion, like killing an enemy when you're you're on really low health and having that enemy drop all the health you need to go up to high health. But the minute you begin to see the cracks in the veneer, it all comes apart and you're left with this pile of ZeniMax Media garbage that they should have shit-canned along with the rest of Doom 4 and everything they've ever made.
Cats.
Were you that player?
Did you play the game on, out of curiosity?
Did I do what now?
What difficulty did you play the game on?
Like the medium one?
Oh, wow.
I played Doom on the medium one. Oh,
great job, Mike Pence.
You haven't played... I don't even get that.
No, I don't either. Thanks, Obama.
Is it because Mike Pence eats like boiled chicken or something, or
Mike Pence probably does eat boiled chicken.
Drinks like bread juice.
Well, the real joke about Mike Pence is that like every morning he has to like flagellate himself because he saw his wife naked. No,
of
like
course,
he actually will not go anywhere alone with another woman. But anyways, no, I thought New Doom was fucking pretty good.
That's because you've been tricked into thinking it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm saying you got to look at shit in context.
You've been
okay,
tricked.
like you have to look at shit in context. Obviously, there's casualized fucking elements to it. There's a lot of fucking casual shit in there, but it's a fucking AAA shooter. They have to work within the conventions of what that is, and I think, compared to pretty much every AAA shooter that's come out in say the past few years, I think it's definitely head and shoulders above the rest of them. Like it's not some objective super return to amazing Doom form, and it's not a sequel to Doom 2, but it wasn't going to be. Like, you put that much fucking money behind something, like,
I didn't put any money behind it.
The fucking royal you.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
You put that much money behind something, the producers are going to be like, this has to sell. This has to have some kind of like visceral satisfaction thing. Like this, it can't just be a game for like hardcore gamers anymore. It can't be a game for like only Doom 2 fans anymore, because the more money you put into something, the safer it's going to be. And so I would say I actually applaud them for being as unsafe as they were within the clear limitations of what making a modern FPS is. Like, that game very easily could have been a million times shittier and still would have sold the same amount.
It could have been worse is the best defense of Doom I think I've heard.
I'm at the point where I think with like either remakes or reboots or whatever, I was at the point like 4 or 5 years ago where I just said, make it the same, you fuckheads, don't change it. I'm actually kind of over that now, I think. I'm actually gone past that. Because I'm ready for games to try other things.
Making a remake or reboot is about understanding what was good about the original and building it, not simply about cashing in on a brand name of the original and then making whatever the fuck stupid bullshit you wanted to make.
So within the past few years, though, can you think of an example of that? Because I would actually...
of doing the
Super
former.
Mario.
Should we talk about the only good remake of an original game?
Nitronic Rush and Distance.
Resident Evil Remake.
Remake is a very good way, but that's not a reboot, really. The reboot of that was Resident Evil 4, a game which is almost universally lauded as being an excellent reboot. Almost.
I mean, that's fair enough.
But I still think taking it. If there's gonna be a good version of that, it's not gonna happen from a AAA studio. Like, and everybody knows the convention of AAA studio design now. Like, and there's a couple of people who managed to permeate from that, like, enough, I feel like. But you're not gonna get like a fucking amazing like sequel to Doom 2 that expands on everything from Doom 2 from a AAA studio.
Does anyone else have a sort of pointlessly out of date video game opinion they'd like to?
All right.
Just another example of a good
music.
reboot.
The music was okay.
I like that. I love that fucking butt rock soundtrack. This is fucking awesome.
Let's talk about the music in Zoldo and how it's plinky plonky.
Because I still haven't played it yet.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
I can't afford it.
She's gonna build a PC
Wow.
before she gets over.
Steal it.
Can't afford it. Theresa May.
Take his house.
Have you got a Wii U?
Yeah.
Yeah, just download it.
I don't steal.
She doesn't do that.
No, it's not stealing. You just ask Nintendo for it and they give it to you.
I do
It's
pirate.
true.
I don't pirate.
It's not piracy. You get it straight from Nintendo's server.
Do it. I want to do it. I'm gonna purchase a solid.
The fun
copy.
thing is that she's gonna spend like 5 times as much money on a new PC as she is on Zoldo.
I've been trying to find a new PC for
But she's gonna do the
about 10
PC
years,
first.
so-
She's gonna do the PC first.
Of course, I'm gonna do the PC first. I've been trying to build a PC for about 10 years.
I'm gonna pirate Zelda on my PC. The next version of Cemu will not crash so much. Then I'll play it.
1.8 just came out and it still crashes.
Well, the next version will
You'll
not
need
crash.
to
so much.
pirate Cemu as well.
No, see, the problem.
It's
I wanna
turtles
go on
all
a
the way
rant
down,
about
Moogle.
Cemu and closed source emulation, actually.
Nobody has learned from Project 64. Nobody has learned.
No,
Project 64 is the worst, but Cemu is like getting bajillions of pounds a year for this thing. So because they're making so much money off it, why would they bring out updates that actually fix things when they could bring out updates that fix minor things and eke out that little bit of payment? They just have to put in enough work to their emulator that people stay subscribed to them on Patreon and say, yeah, they made these changes to it, when actually they're not advancing the emulator that much. They're fixing a few problems with Breath of the Wild to keep people interested, keep them paying that money, but we don't know what's actually going on under the hood there. Maybe they're not making big changes. Maybe they're not making more accurate emulation because it's closed source.
Whoa, man, that's some Adam Curtis shit you just dropped.
Honestly,
that's some like hyper-normalization shit, man.
There's a guy who like lives outside of Tesco that I go and get my lunch from sometimes, and I think, why would I give money to a Patreon when I could give money to him? It's begging, but he actually needs it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, he'll probably spend that on drugs. I've done a lot of work with homeless people, and most of them are on job seekers allowance and things like that anyway. So
most of them are also
I spend a lot of my cash on beer. So
cycle of addiction and mental illness that they can't get treatment for, though. So, there's that.
I mean, they could be that.
And honestly, like, you can die from withdrawal symptoms. I'd rather he had his drugs. He seems very nice.
Actually, heroin withdrawal, it's
only really
the real thing. Alcohol withdrawal is what you really gotta. That's where you really gotta go to the hospital. Heroin withdrawal, like, yeah, there's the chance, but for the most part, like, heroin withdrawal is just completely agonizing and horrible.
You get the shakes and you get diarrhea and you start seeing weird stuff.
It's fucking
you can't
terrible.
die from that.
Like, you could technically, like, there could be some, like, weird case where, like you have some cut and you have diarrhea and then it gets infected or some shit. But yeah, no. Alcohol, though. Alcohol withdrawal. Go to a hospital.
Yep. Yep.
Talking, working with people with severe mental illness. That's my bag.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways.
So the point is that
don't give money to Cemu is the point.
Yeah, well,
until they're open source.
I'm not sure if there was a point. So look, I know that I have this dogma about free open source software, but a history lesson for you people who casually follow emulation. A while ago, there was this emulator called Project 64, and it was the best emulator for the Nintendo 64 around. It was amazing.
It still is,
and
unfortunately.
Everyone else was like, oh, Project 64's got it down. We can all stop making Nintendo 64 emulators. And Project 64 carried on for a few years, and then it stopped. There was no more development of Project 64. It stayed for years and years and years. But by that point, there hadn't been anyone else working on Nintendo 64 emulation, and everyone else was years and years behind. And because nobody could get the source for Project 64, all of the improvements that Project 64 had made in the past few years had been lost now that it had been abandoned.
It's the same as with EPSXE, was closed source, and people just kept having to like add plugins to it rather than improve the actual source code, which is why EPSXE is a mess. Project 64 is going again now.
But not very well.
Not very well. In the 2.2 version, they were bundling it with malware, so that you would get like viruses and shit, because that's how they made their money to support Project 64. The malware is gone now, but they've got annoying nag ads in the 2.3 version.
And I remember the first version that they released after they started working on it again, it was less accurate than the previous one.
1.6
and it had this
was still
weird like frame skipping bug where it would make games run fast for no reason.
Yeah, it's awful, but it is still the best thing we've got. We've got Sen 64, we got Mupen, we got all sorts of, we got like Angry Lion stuff coming through now. None of them can still beat PJ 64, which is awful because I want something that works well. They all work nicer, but they aren't as accurate.
Let's be honest, the games that you would play on it are now on the 3DS as well.
Yeah,
it's more accurate.
Story.
It's more accurate to emulate a Wii emulating a Nintendo 64.
Sometimes it is. In
That's
some
crazy,
cases
isn't it?
It's true.
It's like, I would say, I forgot why I made this analogy, but it's like how all of my friends on Facebook would probably be saying that democracy doesn't work right now. If you could think of where that analogy came from, I'd like to hear in the comments.
What analogy?
The Simpsons.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's
fairly safe bet if someone makes an analogy, it's come from The Simpsons at some point.
Yeah. So, does anyone else have any pointless, out-of-date video game opinions before I go on to the next thing?
All right, now let me tell you. Let's talk about BioShock Infinite.
Let's talk about why Batman Arkham is shit.
Devil May Cry. Okay.
Is this actually happening? Or what?
The next segment is
Jesus Christ.
Catsman's Conundrum.
You sound like Jeff Sessions over here.
You got another conundrum?
Catsman, we haven't had a conundrum yet.
Yeah, we have.
The other one was just...
We totally did have a conundrum.
The other one was just a random shower thought that I had.
Showers!
It was an awesome
Was that
power
while you
thought,
were
though,
waffle
in
stomping?
fairness.
That was what you can't waffle stomp in my shower.
Waffle panic.
Because the people because it's a bath shower and the people who installed it backwards. So the bit you stand on is opposite to the end of the plug hole and it's at an angle. So if you tried to waffle stomp, you would fall over and die.
Oh dear.
Wow.
What is waffle stomp? What?
You know, let's just leave this conversation where it is now and go on to the next thing.
What? No, I've got to know.
No, you don't.
It's when you shit in the shower and you stomp the shit down the drain.
Why would you do that?
See, I was just going to do another stupid political reference,
Why would you do that?
Because you're trashy as fuck.
Why did you do that?
Because you're greasy.
Because you don't want to get out of the shower and get cold.
Because you're poor and can't afford toilet paper.
Because it's difficult to shit into your hand and then throw the shit perfectly into the toilet bowl.
Just go to the toilet. Just shit in the bowl of the toilet.
What if you're poor and can't afford the toilet paper?
That's stupid. That's what Germans do.
They
I'm not
just
doing
shit
that.
in the toilet and then just wash it.
They shit in the toilet and then they look at it, Shiny.
Oh yeah, when you got that shelf on the toilet.
They shit in the toilet and then they look at it.
Anyway, before Catsman, we need to get back to doing fucking book club specials because I have way more fun with those than regular podcasts.
What should we do for the next one? Let's pick a topic.
I don't know. Me and Moogle talked about original Dark Souls, and
Yeah, you guys don't want to do that.
Catsman just wanted to like come in and just complain because he hasn't played the game and he doesn't like it.
I have played the game and I don't like it.
I have a really
Oh, you haven't finished the game you don't like that's like really long.
Okay, no, that's not fair. But still, fuck you, because you want to come out and you don't like it and just talk shit.
I'd give it another shot if we were doing a book club on it.
I'd talk shit about it with you, Cats.
To be fair, it is bad.
No, it's not.
Why would I?
Yeah, no, the game's great. Cats, I'll help you with the bosses.
It's not fun.
No, I know
It's
help.
fun.
It's simply not fun.
Why
It's
would
fun.
I?
What's the conundrum?
Why would I play Dark Souls when I can play Monster Hunter, which is more fun and better?
So go play Monster Hunter and we'll do an episode about Dark Souls.
I'm very happy to pick up Dark Souls again if I had the free time, which I don't. But I'm very happy to do that, if hypothetically.
I could always give it another run through. I almost completed it when I played it before. But...
It's pronounced whirl. It's pronounced whirl.
Whirl.
You give it another whirl.
What's
Whirl.
the fucking conundrum?
What is your least favorite video game cliche, or your worst video game cliche?
Oh man,
fishing minigames.
Oh god,
that is a lot.
No,
fishing minigames.
I love
Yeah,
those.
I was gonna say I don't like fishing games, but I thought Happy Man really liked them.
No, I really don't. Like, okay, I've soured out before because I 100%ed Ocarina of Time last year, and the fucking amount of fishing I had to do.
Did it put you off fishing mini games forever?
Well,
Missable treasure.
What?
Missable treasure. So when you're going down a one-way street and there's like a little side path you could go down, but you think, that's probably the way to go forwards. I'll go down this route. But you end up going down the main route and then you miss the treasure.
Fucking Dead Space, right?
Mine's unbeatable bosses for plot points.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Or worse,
That's
bosses that you beat, but then the cutscene shows you losing.
Yeah, you put them into the ground, and then it's like, oh, okay, I actually lost
He's
that
too
one.
strong.
Right.
This other party member is going to come in to save me.
You know what I love is when you get a boss that looks like it's too hard to beat, and you do get like you do move on with the story if you lose to them, but if you beat them, you get a special like cutscene.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
no, that's some good shit.
Yeah, Tales games love doing that shit.
Dark Souls and Demon Souls do that.
Fucking
you get an extra thing. if you
Demon
kill
Souls does it with the Vanguard.
boss.
The first time you fight it in the tutorial, you can beat the Vanguard in the tutorial.
Dude,
And
I
if
was
you
pretty
do
close to beating
so,
him.
you get teleported to the Dragon King, the Dragon God.
What?
There's items you can pick up beforehand, and then he just fucking smashes you with his fist and you die. So,
Are you fucking serious?
yeah, absolutely.
Wait, what game?
Demon Souls?
I also think if you do that, I don't think he shows up in World 4 either. I can't remember
Dragon
if that's
God
true or
doesn't?
not. No, the Vanguard. I don't think he shows up if you do that.
Oh, well, that
I think
makes
you
sense.
kill him.
Okay, my cliche is when you get a section where control is taken away from you in some
God,
way.
I hate that.
My most recent example of this, I think, is Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, where you get to that bit where Raiden starts going, "Oh, I killed so many people," and he starts walking around like a drunk man.
Yes.
This is an action game where I'm supposed to be going fast, killing people, and I gotta walk around swinging my sword like a drunk old man for like 5 minutes of the game because you want to show me some like, I don't know, dichotomy of like, oh, you know, this is what you'd be like if you couldn't kill everything else. Oh, it's slow. Fuck off. I want to play the game. And if I were to go and replay that level, I'd have to walk through that shitty walking section for 5 minutes. It's like Killer is Dead did a similar thing when you had a couple of levels where it was just a boss, but to get to the boss you had to walk for like 10 minutes, just like slow as shit.
Up to.
I hate it. I just hate walkie sections as well in games. It's just like, let me run. I've got a run button. Why can't I run in this bit? Just
Like, I'm kind of in the same boat. Either put it in a cutscene or don't put it in at all. Choose one. I don't want pseudo interactivity here.
Yeah, Phantom Pain as well. There's a bit in Phantom Pain where you're talking to Skullface, and the only thing you can do is walk forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pressing any other direction will make you not go anywhere. So why give me control of
To
anything
make
other
you
than the
think
camera?
that you've got control.
Vanquish,
Yeah, oh my god. Oh
does
yeah,
it as well of all games.
Kojima loading on that symbolism.
Dude,
It's not symbolism, it's me hurting myself.
That's not even the
I've
worst.
got to hold the forward button down for like
It's
half an
all
hour.
symbolism. It's all.
The fucking Jeep ride?
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, no,
The
it's
Jeep ride
all
as well.
about
Fuck the
like
Jeep
it's all
ride.
about control and like memes and shit, man.
And then
Metal Gear Solid 2 managed to do that without any of the
You're a
bullshit
meme.
pseudo
Metal Gear
interactivity
Solid. Wait, no,
stuff.
hold on. The ending of Metal Gear Solid 2 is like you getting interrupted by codec calls, like
Constantly.
Those are fucking awesome.
yeah,
Metal
like
Gear Solid
yeah,
2.
no, and they were great. Like I
But at
loved
least
all
they're
that
funny,
shit.
right? At least they're
Shiny.
not.
Bye, Shiny. Love
Bye.
you.
Bye, Shiny.
Bye.
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 Continue
this actually-
arguing, guys.
This actually kind of related. My quip, most annoying cliche for me, is like open world and like RPG style games where you're given a grave sense of urgency for the main plot,
Oh, yeah.
but you can't even if you it doesn't even do the Bethesda thing where like it'll scale down to you if you go and directly do it. Like you actually have to do useless stuff when it's like my son's been kidnapped or like, you know, Mass Effect 3 did that fucking so weirdly. Like
the Reapers are coming. The Reapers are coming.
It's not even the Reapers are coming. They're here. They've destroyed Earth, and then it's like yeah. Well, I gotta go fly around and like have sex for a while. I gotta meet everyone who I've met on the way here before I can get any of this Reaper stuff done.
I mean, I don't know. What's the alternative? Just not have that kind of plot in an open world game?
The other thing is, do you want to have a time limit?
Or putting a time limit on the game. No, fuck that. Do you ever play The Desolate Hope? Because The Desolate Hope is a game in which you're on a space station, you're an animate coffee maker, and you're slowly running out of resources, and you have to convince a bunch of weird AIs that life is worth living. And you can play through the whole game, and then it'll be like, oh, you ran out of power, and the whole game is over. And it's like, if you want to play more, you just got to fucking start again.
But let's think about something like Majora's Mask, where it's like, okay, you got 3 days to get shit sorted, but you have a system where actually it's not pointless everything you do in those 3 days if you don't the game.
It's more like it's not pointless that you do, it's more like the time limit is resettable.
Not every game can be as genius as Majora's Mask.
You can add stakes to a big quest without causing that time limit. You can put stakes in without there being a time limit. You can add incentives for doing things quickly. You can disincentivize taking your fucking time. You can do lots of things that
But like kind of where it is right now, it's like
do whatever you want, doesn't matter.
Do whatever you want for this theoretically long amount of time, and then when you get there, it's like you know the exact same thing would happen as if you got there right away.
I mean, if you set it up so you were marked for death from the start of the game, and at some point in the game you will like this time limit, a guy will just come for you, and then you fight him. And if you've prepared well enough, then you can take him down.
It is ski-free, you are correct.
I'd play the shit out of that hypothetical game idea.
Yeah.
But then, you could go take him on earlier if you feel prepared. You could try and get the drop on him. He'd have a schedule. He'd be at different places in different days. You'd have like maybe a bit of open worldy sort of thing going on.
It's like
You'd
doing the opposite of Hitman.
It's like, you know what it's like? It's like going to Comet Ping Pong to find that fucking sicko John Podesta.
I followed that. I followed those threads. They were great.
Not everything has to be about politics.
That's conspiracy.
It's a bit like how they handled Lavos in Chrono Trigger, where you can meet him at multiple points through the game.
Yeah,
and you can't fucking beat him the first time you find him. You're not going to do that. Yeah. But you could.
What you can do with the multiple playthroughs in this is make it short enough that, people are going to have to play through it multiple times, but have it so that every time they play through, they learn stuff about the game world. They don't necessarily carry stuff over into the next playthrough, but they know when things are going to happen. They know how things operate.
Doesn't Nier Automata that was recently released do stuff like that? Multiple playthroughs.
So I don't know.
I gather it does things with multiple playthroughs and choices that you make throughout different playthroughs and different perspectives and things.
You know what they honestly could do in the someone got your son got kidnapped kind of scenario. If the fucking kidnapper just called you every once in a while, and then at a certain point it's like all right, I'm gonna call you 2 more times, and after that I'm just gonna kill him, and then the game would not necessarily stop after that.
Yeah. I've just remembered Dead Rising. Dead Rising did this.
Dead Rising does similar
Dead Rising, you had a certain amount of days to basically save survivors and get out. Depending on which survivors you save, you get a different ending. You can only get the true ending once you've saved all of the survivors in a run, but you get different endings sort of as you go through. You learn things as you play through.
There is absolutely no way that you can do it all on the first time unless you've got a guide, basically.
But Dead Rising is great. And if you decide you don't want to do the main story, you can just fuck about for however many hours the game lasts for, and then it ends and you get the bad ending, and then you can go back in and you retain some stuff from your previous playthrough. You'll unlock things that live in your
you keep your levels, for example, all the abilities you've unlocked, which is really important.
Levels, abilities, the snaps you've taken and stuff. Dead Rising 1 was
Rising 1 is really underrated.
There's a point-and-click adventure from the 90s that is based on the Titanic. And you have until 2 a.m. in the morning.
Are you talking about SOS? That's not a point.
No. It's I think it's called Adventure Out of Time or something like this. and you need to find a painting, a manuscript, and something else. Depending on what things you find, you will either make things worse with the timeline or stop both world wars. Because you get at the back of the manuscript, there's like the names of the revolutionary forces in Russia, and the painting you find, well, because the Titanic is still gonna sink.
Well, wait, the revolution in Russia is why they got out of World War One.
Sorry, guys, we can't war anymore. We got a revolution going on.
Yeah,
I just realized.
I don't remember what
we missed one of the most important pieces of news in the last few weeks.
Objects. I don't remember what exactly it was.
If you say Bubsy again,
no,
Bubsy. What could possibly go wrong?
The people that made Seaman are making another game.
Oh yes, boys!
Oh,
Nimoy coming back.
Oh no!
I'm not even. I wish I was joking, but there it is. It's on Eurogamer.
Don't wish you were joking.
There's two types of people hearing the news of Seaman making another game. Either oh yeah or oh no.
Some games are cult games for a reason.
Seaman was ahead of its time, though.
Seaman's fucking hilarious.
What do you mean ahead of its time?
Seaman like made predictions about how the internet was going to mess society up and things.
Some fucking hypernormalization shit there, man.
Oh man, so deep.
Man.
Really activates my almonds.
Oh man!
I'll activate your almonds.
Okay.
I wish you would.
I would like to talk about a video game cliche that really pisses me off that nobody seems to get as mad about as I do.
Go on.
It is when enemies play by different rules to the player characters.
Yes.
So no wonder you hate Dark Souls.
It's when enemies have like different stun behavior, or they have like seem to have like fewer iframes than you, or they can do moves that can stun lock you.
Is this specifically where you're talking like humanoid enemies that look like they should behave like
this is
characters?
In a game with a unified, predictable set of rules. So a game like Spelunky, which I love, everything in that game obeys the exact same rules. Yeah. Everything that can damage you can damage an enemy. Every projectile. Okay. Whereas some games, they're just like, fuck it, this enemy can walk on spikes and doesn't get hurt. That's fine. Oh, you know what? This enemy gets loads of iframes. He gets way more than you. It doesn't matter. It's loads of iframes for this enemy. This enemy damages you when it touches you, even though the other ones don't. It's inconsistent and bad design, and it makes for a game that feels like it's not fair.
The only time I don't really like that in games is when there's an expectation that's been set up that that's how the game will work. So, for example, Bloodborne and Dark Souls have NPC characters. The NPC characters don't obey the same rules that you as a player character do.
They have way more health.
Like, they have way more health. They've got infinite stamina, essentially, most of the time.
But that's fine as long as it's consistent. But then if you had one who was working... Like, if you had most NPCs are very similar to you in terms of health
and then you've just got one randomly.
And then you've got one who just shows up in the world and is like, oh, hey, by the way, I've got much more health than
Bloodborne does this with one of its NPCs that you have to fight. I say have to fight, that you can fight as an optional boss. The reason that it is the way it is technically speaking, he does obey the same rules that you do. The difference is he is level 712, and you on an average playthrough will reach a maximum of about 100 or 120.
You're talking about Jura here? Or?
I'm talking about the Bloody Crow of Canehurst, who you may not have found.
I never
He's the guy, if you actually follow Eileen's storyline, you find the Bloody Crow in the cathedral. He is a max level character, essentially. Your gunshots do like at most 10%, like 5% damage to an NPC. His will do half of yours easily. Half your health bar just melts. So that pisses me off, that fight. But then they also added a really easy cheese where you can just poison him and run away. So yeah.
I mean, I don't want it to feel like enemies are cheesing me. I think that's the main thing.
There's a good example of this.
It really pisses me off sorry, I'm just going to go one more. In stuff like strategy games, where the AI, instead of just being better, will get some sort of ridiculous like boost and will just be a shit player. I mean, I understand that it's not the point of AI in strategy games to make an AI player that plays exactly like a human, that I know that they have to play by some sort of predictable rules, but pick rules that are satisfying to play against, not some garbage ass AI player that doesn't know how to play the game and is just being propped up like, I don't know, Israel or something.
I'm infected. I'm infected.
Screw you, Mike. That was your fault.
With RTS specifically, I feel like bad RTS games basically put you against computer-controlled player characters, whereas a good RTS, a good campaign in an RTS will go, okay, well, here's this level where there's this gimmick for this level. A bit like Nintendo have gimmicks for their levels, and they go, okay, well, this is what the AI is going to try and do to you, and you have these specific tools and this gimmick for this particular level that you use to fight against it. That's way more interesting than just build up a big base and kill the enemy.
Well, StarCraft, like the first...
StarCraft and StarCraft 2 do it very well.
Except like StarCraft 2, like, those expansions got like even fucking dumber. like literally, like when they made Heart of the Swarm, they also added a like send all units to attack button.
Yeah, but you needed that for that game because the Zerg are fucking ridiculous in the amount of numbers that you wield at the same time.
Yeah, but you just fucking hotkey the eggs before they come out.
Well, you could do, but you could also just press this really handy like, I just want my entire army to come here because I'm the Zerg and that's what Zerg do.
Not in multiplayer, bro.
Well, not in multiplayer, but who gives a fuck about the multiplayer compared with the single player? It's like comparing two completely different games.
Yeah, no, I know. It's absolutely...
It's like going, well, it's like, why would you do that?
But that plot, man. That plot.
They fucked up with the plot, but...
Oh, wait, Blizzard fucking pulls its, like, continual George Lucas.
I know, right?
It's been pulling for the past,
pottery,
like, 7 decades.
It rhymes.
Oh my god!
Let's take these characters who everyone loves because they've got like depths and shallownesses and all other stuff, and make them boring tropes.
You remember when like you got to see like Kerrigan's titties?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you remember like she was all like glowing like an angel or some shit.
No,
you got to see her titties.
No.
Yeah, man, that was really cool.
Remember when
I bet Metzen has had that drawing in his little sketchbook since he was like 14.
This reminds me about the series writer for the new Powerpuff Girls series who has self-inserted himself into episodes as
don't remind me. Don't remind me. I saw that on the internet. I was like, should I put that in the podcast? No.
I only watched a couple of episodes of the new Powerpuff Girls because it wasn't
I don't give a fuck.
But I didn't realize that.
Oh my goodness!
Fun stuff.
On topic of sort of things being unfair, I've been playing a game called Urban Reign recently, which is a PS2 like brawler.
I think I've heard of this.
It's really hard. It's made by the team that make Tekken, and it's hard to describe it. It's a brawler. You can fight against like multiple people at the same time. There's like you can dodge attacks, you can counter attacks with like grabs, you can use grabs. The animation's really fluid in it. It's really cool. There's lots of contextual like grabs and stuff. The point with it being unfair is when you're in the single player mode, you can stun guys if you hit them in a certain way with certain attacks and stuff. They will be stunned for about a second. Your character will be stunned for about 5 seconds.
Yeah,
pisses me off.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. Like, when you knock the opponents down, because they're CPUs, they know if you're going to grab them.
Of course,
on the floor. So sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, no, they don't want to be grabbed by you right now. And other times it's like, okay, you grabbed them, that's fine.
A lot of this, I think, comes down to the old arcade way of doing things, which is that you make things unfair to get people to put more money in.
I don't find the arcade way of doing things.
Eventually, people work out ways to cheese these things. Almost everything in all of these games has a way to cheese it, and that is, in theory,
and on some of the levels in Urban Reign, I have had to cheese things by just knocking the enemies down repeatedly and then running away.
There's a lot of, like, disdain for cheesing things in games, and I'm not sure why in single-player stuff. I'm like, it's a part of the game in theory. It's like, it's there. If you figure it out, why not abuse it? What's wrong with that?
When I was playing Dark Souls, I kept saying to my friend, oh yeah, I found a really easy way to beat this boss. You just run up here and then like he can't get you and then you can hit him with fireballs and stuff. And he was just like, you're playing the game wrong.
You're not playing the game wrong. You're playing the game in one of many correct ways. Yeah. There is nothing wrong. If you want to cheese a boss, who the fuck is going to tell you differently?
I think it's wrong.
Who's gonna force you to stop?
I'll tell you differently.
Who's gonna force you to stop?
I'll force you to stop. I will come and rip the controller out of your cheesy hands.
By that definition, if one guy like takes a big heavy shield and blocks everything that the boss does,
that is what I do.
And one player dodges everything with huge amounts of iframes. Who's right? Who's playing the game correctly?
Obviously, me. Whichever build I chose.
Whatever I happen to be doing at this particular moment in time.
I don't believe in cheating in single-player games.
I don't see why not to.
The sentient AI
It's like playing Final Fight or Streets of Rage and not stun locking enemies. Like, why would you not do that? Why would you not do that? That is literally the way the game is meant to be played.
I gotta go get some dinner.
You do that.
Yeah,
I'll see you guys.
You do that, Mike.
Bye.
Peace out.
I'm actually gonna get off my ass and make a fucking survey this time so we can have a family feud next time.
God, no.
Oh shit, we're gonna have a family feud. That's bringing that back.
Can we have a question? Who won E3? Don't put a year in there. Just say who won E3.
Sony.
Okay.
But no,
Wait,
you can. There's no answers.
Oh, there's no answers.
Who won E3?
Nobody.
Nobody won E3.
All the answers is Ubisoft.
Who do we think won E3, I should say?
Okay.
Nintendo.
Yeah. So yeah, this E3 that just happened that we watched a few days ago, I think that...
Xbox.
Man.
You can't top the Scorpio. The Scorpio's gonna win.
I'm not gonna watch, but if Sony shows some fucking Kingdom Hearts and Shenmue...
Shenmue 3 has been delayed again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
What about Kingdom Hearts, though?
No idea.
That's delayed forever.
Isn't that delayed as well? I can't remember.
We know
they delayed that to 2018 as well.
Announces Power Stone 3 is coming to their console.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Power Stone. I would be down for Power Stone. I would be more down for Choo Choo Rocket 2, however.
Oh my
if
god.
anyone wants to make Choo Choo Rocket 2.
I would love some Choo Choo Rocket.
Hey, Choo Choo Rocket is legit good.
That was the game I got free with
Mouse Mania!
It's genuinely well designed.
I have Choo Choo Rocket. We can play if need be.
Yeah.
I can emulate Choo Choo Rocket.
Many people can.
I am the anthropomorphic personification of Choo Choo Rocket.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No,
you're a
not.
Catsman.
You're the anthropomorphic personification of Lawyer Guy.
No, Choo Choo Rocket has cats in it.
It does. They were scary.
Mm-hmm.
Cat Mania! Wow.
You could play it online as well with your dial-up connection, couldn't you?
It was ahead of its time.
That and Phantasy Star Online were probably the only reasons to go online with a Dreamcast. I mean, you could play Quake on it, but why would you on a controller?
It was ahead of its time.
You could connect a mouse and keyboard to the
you could.
Actually, you could, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could.
Quake 3 on Dreamcast was legit.
That's true, actually. On a good old 56k modem.
Hey, man. People played Doom over less.
I'm sure they did.
Not that Doom's multiplayer was
I never got
good.
to play Phantasy Star Online with other people until like 2008, I think. Phantasy Star Online was fun, though.
I never got Phantasy Star Online.
I had a book that had tips on Phantasy Star Online, so I used to read it and be like, this game sounds great.
It is a fun video game.
Like, I've played a lot of it, but I never got it.
It was probably the first dungeon crawler I ever played.
Do you have or do you had it?
I have it on the GameCube.
I played Phantasy Star Universe, and that was a bit crap.
I never really played that afterwards.
I played Phantasy Star 4, and that was amazing.
I think you need Phantasy Star 2 for the GameCube to rip the discs using the LAN adapter.
You probably would do.
Fantasy Star was the game that came with the
never bought the broadband adapter
controller.
I found
with the
one.
Keyboard in the middle.
The keyboard in the middle.
We can trade.
What Wii U port to the Switch do you think is going to come out at E3?
Well, people are saying that there's listings for Smash Bros.
They wouldn't surprise me.
So they could do that, combine 3DS and Wii U versions.
I really want them to do Mario 3D World, because that on the go, I think, would make my day.
Well, you've got Mario Odyssey coming.
I know, I don't give a fuck. I want 3D World, because 3D World is fucking amazing.
They're not going to cut their own profits by doing that.
Would you really play it all again?
Cut their profits. Since when does Nintendo releasing 2 games of the same series ever cut their fucking profits?
I told you.
When have they ever done that?
They're making it all up.
Every Pokemon game?
They're making it all up on controllers.
They are as well.
You know I'm right.
That and Docs.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if they announced Bayonetta 3 for the Switch exclusive?
I think
there
people
will
would
be
cry
They
again.
already didn't announce it.
catastrophic amounts of butthurt.
People are
Sold
fine.
for ages.
Catastrophic amounts of butthurt.
Sold for ages.
What? Wait, no. They could bring out Bayonetta 2 on the Switch because it might sell now that there's an actual user player base on the Switch.
I
Bayonetta
don't
trilogy.
think that's the kind of player base that would buy that game yet. That being said, Platinum are apparently working on Switch games, and so are From Software. So
Bayonetta
see what either of those do.
Make it
Been
happen.
working with Nintendo for ages.
Yeah, they have. Good for them as well.
102.
Also, Kamiya is now the vice president of Platinum Games. So
Nice.
Oh,
he
good.
is-
I'm glad. I love his attitude. That was sarcasm.
I adore his attitude.
He makes a good game, though.
Have I mentioned to you? I
Steam's
mentioned
a
it to
damn
Happy
fine
on the
ham.
stream. The reason that Bayonetta wears glasses
Yeah.
is because Kamiya adores glasses on women. The studio tried to force him to take it off because it was focus testing badly, and he said they ain't coming off.
They
And he
ain't
refused
coming
to
off.
take them off. And then his reasoning was Bayonetta's glasses are like her underwear. She won't be seen without them. So they ain't coming off.
Wait.
They ain't coming off.
But
Bayonetta's
they come off all
not
the
wearing
time.
underwear.
She wears hair. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's not underwear.
It's her hair. Her hair is her
And
clothes.
it comes off.
Her hair is her clothes.
Japanese developers like putting their fetishes into games. Hidetaka
I-
Miyazaki, he likes his tall women, and you can tell.
He really does, doesn't he? He
I don't
really
know.
does like them tall women.
What do you think, Todd Howard's fetish is just based on his
Mountains.
games?
It's Captain Kirk. He's climbing the mountain.
He wants to make
Why
love
is
to
he
the
climbing the
mountain.
mountain? You could ask that of any fucking Bethesda game. Why am I doing this? There is no purpose to this.
So he's saying his fetish is introspection.
Yes.
But you
That
can't.
is making people buy his games. Thank you, Todd Posting.
But you can't climb a mountain in Skyrim.
Todd Posting is legitimately one of
You
the
can only
only
walk.
reasons I go to 4chan anymore. It really is. I
Did
go
you
there
see
for Todd
Todd was in
Posting.
the Scorpio reveal video?
I did, and I'm so happy. He was also in the Switch reveal video, so
I hope we
All
get a
these things make me happy.
HD remaster of Skyrim HD.
Here's a conundrum for you, gentlemen.
go on.
No, too many.
No.
Can you read
Specandrum.
that?
Go on, what is it? Give me your...
I posted it in the thing. Hold on, let me get a link instead. That might
This
work
will be
better.
very,
What the
very
fuck?
nice for our listeners.
Bayonetta is your girlfriend. Bayonetta is your mother. Bayonetta is both your girlfriend and your mother. You become one of Bayonetta's shoes.
Dude, Miiverse is
I'm
a
not
horrible place.
I
necessarily
love Miiverse.
sure I want any
Miiverse
of
is
them.
great.
You...
I mean, do I have to pick one?
The greatest
You
Miiverse
have
comment
to
of all
pick
time.
one.
I'm not gay, but damn is Luigi hot. Have you ever
favorite
regretted
Have you
making
ever
a
regretted
comment?
making a post? I've got a little album.
nice
of
water.
Miiverse
Really good
comments.
water.
I love
Why did
Good-looking water.
Miiverse develop that bizarre culture?
Because that's what happens.
Miiverse is
Because
amazing.
it's like a bunch of 12-year-olds
It's like
all
a-
talking in a little hug
It's a
box
bunch
to
of
each other.
12-year-olds and grown adults who think they're still 12-year-olds.
Oh,
But
wow,
there's
this
like
game
this
is
sort
fun.
of weirdly repressed undertones to
My
it
dad
all.
broke my leg again. I wish squids were real. They are.
This game is fun. My mom and dad have been
I've
fighting
been
a lot.
fighting a lot.
My
Just
favourite
open that
Miiverse
one.
thing is still Paulie, and nothing will ever surpass Paulie in my mind.
I got a good one here. It's a screenshot of someone who's changed Ness's favourite food in Earthbound to pussy. And it's got Ness caught a whiff of pussy, but just for a second. The comment is, darn, I wish it was longer than a second.
Now that we're at the end, we seem to be sort of devolving into nothing. I will do a
Yeah.
sign off.
Good.
Okay.
Hey, you're listening to this podcast. This is all the sign off you get. See ya.
See ya.
That was it.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Why are you listening to this anymore? Go elsewhere.
Hello and welcome. That's right. Rock me, baby. Baby. Rock me, baby. Baby. That's right.
Laura Palmer's favorite meal was creamed corn. Whose favorite meal is creamed corn? She was the popular girl. She was the popular girl, and her favorite meal was creamed corn. That's the ultimate old people food.
That's like you don't have teeth anymore, so
yeah, it's like corn on its own is not overwhelmingly interesting. It's sweet corn is sweet. Regular corn is more of a food additive than a regular food. I mean, corn is so dull that Mr. Kellogg thought it would stop people masturbating forever. That's how dull it is. I mean, he was wrong, but the point still stands. I would expect people to be like...
Why are you talking about this, Cat?